Live. Where's my prompts? Hello.
What's up,
going
man?
on?
How you guys doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Just relaxing a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Got an invite, so I'm like, "What's up, man?"
Yeah, long
Yeah,
time no see.
same.
It's only been like a month and a half, right?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
But
No,
I
I got
miss
an
you too,
invite a couple days
CDH.
ago. I was gonna come up, but
Yeah.
when I came in, it wouldn't let me up for whatever reason. So I was like, oh well.
Is that Star Wars? Hello.
Yeah, hello, hi.
I went to a Korean restaurant today. I'm so sick. Like the worst stomach ache.
Korean food?
Yeah, it was K-pot. So like you have to like cook the food. And I had no idea you had to do that before going in.
Oh, like a hot pot thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
My first
And this
time. Pretty
and
good.
this
Yeah.
upset your tummy muscles or what?
Yeah.
Oh, bless his heart.
It was actually really good.
I'll give you a hug.
Yeah. That soup I ordered was like super spicy. It's like I had no
I
idea.
knew that was coming.
Do you ever get any opposition up here? Because every time I,
Well,
up
whenever you
here,
join, we had a lot of people yesterday. Whenever you
oh
join,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, it is 1:27 a.m. I was gonna go live a lot earlier, but
you must be on the East Coast.
yeah.
You say you're an hour ahead of me. I'm down here in Texas right now,
Nice.
just ready to go home.
Yeah, it's 10:30 here.
Oh wow.
You must be in California or Nevada or something.
Eastern Oregon.
Oregon, okay.
It's the same for as protection.
Who?
Because I think Colorado.
I said I have the same time zone as you protect.
Oh, W.
I live in Tennessee.
Nice. That's awesome.
Say, because I think Colorado and Wyoming and all them are mountain time, so it's like I think they're an hour, probably be like 11:28 there, and I think Nevada over that way and Oregon and stuff.
All right. So the owl's kiss. What is your age and what is your stance?
41. And my stance is what? You want my pro-choice or pro-life?
Yes.
Yes. Pro-choice, 100%, all day, every day.
All right. Anyone who would like to talk to Owl?
No, I have questions for you guys because the prompt is "Don't a baby keep your legs closed."
It's a hook.
I mean, I do believe it, obviously, but
So yeah, if you guys believe in that, I have a question for the men on the channel. Do you all want kids?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, I have kids. I have one kid. Yes.
Okay. What do you think so you think that like any person that gets married that doesn't want kids should just never have sex?
What?
Didn't say that.
There's there's contraceptives and stuff, and there's ways to prevent having kids if you don't want to have kids.
Right, but you said keep your legs closed. That you're implying that sex should be off limits to anybody that doesn't want children. That's what you're implying with that prompt.
No, it's more of an implication that if you're gonna get pregnant, you shouldn't complain about it. Like, well, obviously, keep your legs closed. That's an obvious solution. There's more
That's
solutions.
100%.
Complaining? Are you saying that getting an abortion is complaining?
No, I'm saying that complaining about like women that won't get an abortion, they complain about men like running off when they're pregnant or right after they have the baby, they take off, things like this. But it's like you should have kept your legs. You shouldn't have let that guy hit. That guy sucks. Keep your legs closed. That guy ran. You know what I'm saying?
So this is your complaint that women that have kids with men that take off, they just should keep their mouth shut.
Well, no. I mean, it would be weird in theory to complain about, men this, men that, if you chose a bad man to have a baby with. You see where I'm coming from a little bit?
Oh, I have a prompt for that.
Like my mom was a single mother, and she would go, "I picked a bad dude." Like that's 100% on me. She's not gonna go, "Men suck." That's not gonna be her response, right? She's gonna go, "I picked wrong."
Your complaint
add
is
on to
just
that.
rhetoric. Like,
Hey, hold on.
Yeah,
on.
you're bad at listening. I think.
Hold on. I know I'm not a man, but I kind of want to just put a little bit of input in this. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
if you keep your legs closed, that is 100% that you will not get pregnant. But we're not saying you have to have sex, but with that percent, even if you have birth control, there's still a percent that you will get pregnant, and you should be still held accountable for that if you get pregnant.
There's that word.
Yep.
I want to.
But that's what we're trying to say. Is
what does that mean? Held accountable to what authority?
So what I mean is when you have sex, right? Even if you're on birth control, you are acknowledging that there is a chance I could get pregnant. When you know this for a fact. There's like when you get on birth control, they make you aware that like this is a 99% effective rate. When you have sex, you are acknowledging that fact. And that's why I say accountable, because when you have sex, you are knowing what could happen and what could not happen, and abortion kind of takes away that kind of accountability.
No, I think abortion is a responsible approach.
How
And also, when you get into a car, you could get into a car crash. When you get into an airplane, you could get into an airplane crash. When you eat food at a restaurant, you could get food poisoning. That doesn't mean that you can't seek medical attention for what might happen.
You're unaliving a child in the womb.
It's not a child.
Oh,
Can
what is
I
it?
jump in here for a second, please? Can I have a conversation? I just
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask you, so we can kind of establish a baseline. What do you believe? When do you believe a child becomes a child? Do you
When it's
believe
born.
at birth?
Yeah.
It's born. What?
Okay. Do you believe that a mother who is, let's say, 8 months pregnant should be able to have an abortion.
They can try to have one, but a doctor
What the
won't
hell?
do it
Why
because
would they?
it's too
Why should they
dangerous.
Wow.
be allowed to?
Okay,
do that?
okay.
One at a
Your moral
time.
compass is so fucked.
Doctors won't
There's
do
not
that.
even- there's
That's
nothing.
not
No,
true.
let me break this
That's
down. Let me
not
break this
true.
down for us. This is not even that difficult.
Talking to random.
This is simple. So a child has to be deemed a child prior to birth, because otherwise, if you were 8 months pregnant and you had an early birth outside the hospital, you could just get rid of your child because it wasn't technically a child. You see what I'm saying? So you have to think this through a little bit further than when they're born, they're a child. It's like, well, no, there's more to it than that. You see what we're saying?
I don't know what you mean. A doctor won't do it. I mean, yeah, they will. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No. The only time that abortions happen in super late term is when the baby like has some horrible abnormality
Yeah,
to where they
like-
won't survive,
Do you
or
have,
it's where the life
That's
of the mother.
brutal.
do you have a
the
citation
source?
for this claim?
Why do
Yeah.
you think that you can just say things that like you wouldn't know that that's not true? Like honestly, like
Well, I feel the
Do you
same way
realize-
about you. You're fucking delusional. That's
Do
not,
you
you
realize
can't
that-
go into an abortion clinic at 8 months and just get
Yes,
an
you
abortion
can.
there's
on a
certain
healthy
states-
because that would be
There's
healthy
states where you
cesarean
can do
section.
that. You understand that, right?
That's not true. No camera on. That's not true, right? There's 9 states plus Washington D.C. that have no restrictions, so that's not true.
Because when you enforce restrictions, okay, you guys don't
You just
understand.
said because. That's a
Pregnancy,
concession.
there are
You
so
conceded.
many variables that whenever you apply the law to it, you're going to be putting women at risk.
Okay,
hold
great.
on,
So you
hold on.
conceded, right? So there are states where you can do an 8-month abortion, right?
It's not technically an abortion.
Yeah,
I mean,
Why
it
is
is and it isn't. Like you're removing
What is it,
either you're removing a
technically a
dead
birth?
fetus
You're
or you're
unaliving
getting
it.
the brain
Have
Have
outside
you
of
ever
its
watched
body.
an abortion actually happen?
It
out of-
does.
have you guys-
You're not actively killing because at 8
Okay,
months
good.
you're not
So then
killing
that's not
the
an
fetus.
abortion.
You're just
It's a C-section, right? So we can't even count that, right?
A abortion is the intentional unaliving
Correct.
of the fetus in the
Correct.
womb.
Yes.
A C-section is removing the child
Correct.
alive and intact. There is a big difference, and also it's not a miscarriage. It's nothing like that.
abortion
They're-
doesn't kill the fetus. It
Yes,
removes
it does.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
it does.
The
Have you
definition
seen
of
an abortion?
abortion.
Have you seen a knee surgery?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
we
that has
dead
no
ass?
relevance.
We got.
Have you watched an active abortion ever?
This is what you guys do. This is you have the
Hey,
first
man,
off,
my
hold
dad's
on.
an anesthesiologist. Like
Hey.
I'm pretty familiar with like most of it.
anesthesiologists
Hold
are
on.
drug dealers,
Hold on,
man.
hold on.
He specializes in pregnant women. That's what he does. He does surgery on pregnant women.
One at a time. First off, you never gave a citation for your claim that these only happen for medical
Right.
reasons, which is not
Right.
true, obviously. Number 2,
Obviously.
you clearly have never seen an abortion. Obviously, it unalives a child. That's literally why we're fighting.
Correct.
So you're removing it. If it dies, it dies. Let it pull itself.
What?
apart.
That's called a birth, sweetheart. When they deliver a child because it's dangerous and they do their best, they put it in a NICU. It's a preemie baby. They don't kill it on purpose. That's not an abortion.
Exactly. They don't
Yeah.
do that
So
at
what's an
that
abortion
stage
then? If
unless
that's
the
not
child's
done-
already gonna die or the mom is gonna
If
die.
that's not an abortion.
Again,
then what?
you haven't
hold on.
provided.
You guys
If that's
are,
not an
like,
abortion.
Wait,
then what
Brainwashed
is one?
as fuck.
You haven't provided a source for this claim. You just say they.
If that's not an abortion, what is an abortion then?
Yeah.
None of you provide
Because
sources
we
either.
can-
You're just here to
we
gang
just
up on.
agreed.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. I
We
haven't
just
made-
agreed that that isn't one.
Wait,
So what
wait.
is one?
I
Which
haven't
is
made a
one?
claim, so the burden of proof is not on you. You're the one.
Yeah, I mean,
I just want to say for anybody out there in the comments who's never actually watched an abortion, if you do, you will see that it is so inhumane. The baby does feel pain because it is literally, its limbs are literally ripped off its body one by one.
yeah, and if you want to just boil it down to the basic level, I just said a NICU baby that gets delivered super premature and they do their best to save it in a NICU unit, that's not an abortion. We agreed. So then what is one by her logic?
Right.
What is one? Because she just said it's removing a fetus. Well, that's removing a fetus, but that's not an abortion. So what is one?
Wait, a live birth at 9 months is an abortion by your definition then, because you're removing.
Right, exactly. By
Well,
that
then-
logic, a live birth at 9 months is an abortion. It's just
Well,
the removal of a fetus. Like, what the
And that's the thing too, is they're like, oh, it's a fetus. It's a fetus. Okay, at what point does it become a baby? Well, when it's born.
When it has its 12th birthday.
Yeah. So it becomes a baby when it's born. So that means as long as it's not born yet, the mother could be in labor. The baby's not born yet. You could actively,
How come
perform
you can't
an abortion
drink while you're
on that.
pregnant legally?
Yeah, like, I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. And when she's, I was honestly thinking maybe she, wasn't, her moral compass wasn't so fucked, because most people are like, oh, well, it's not okay to do it at 8 months, at 20 weeks. Okay. What's the point of the abortion? Oh, well, it's, my body, my choice. Okay. What's the difference between, 20 weeks and 40 weeks if, it's my body, my choice? You're taking the choice away from the mother at that point.
I don't know if they understand the entailment of the things that they say. You go, when is it a child? And she goes, at birth. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Hold on.
Well, when I asked her if she could, if she thought it would be okay to abort a child at 8 months, and she said yes, that's when I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
your moral
I must
compass
have missed that part.
Yeah, that's what I asked her. I said, when do you think an abortion is, or when do you think it becomes a child? At birth? Okay, so you think an abortion is okay at 8 months? She said yes, and that's when we're all like, holy shit, your moral compass is fucked.
I would have also asked like a minute before birth, if that was okay.
Say what?
I really wanted to ask, just like to see, like a minute before birth, is it okay?
Yeah, she gets the mother gets an epidural. She's sitting there. They're like, all right, push, and she goes, you know what?
I'm alive.
You know what? I'm not feeling it. Give me a 40. Give me a 40 and get this thing out of me. Party time.
I don't want to say that. I'm alive it right now.
Yep. Wrap it up. We're done.
Yep.
Dumpster.
According to these people, that's exactly, I mean, that'd be perfectly okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a baby yet. It wasn't born, right?
Right.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's not even a baby. It's a clump of cells, even though it has a face, feelings, heart, being,
right.
Mental. It's like fingerprints. I mean, it's like.
And she claims we're the brainwashed ones.
Right, and we're insane. The fact that, like, we're crazy because we want to force a woman to carry a baby. Didn't, like, 80% of women through all of human history reproduce, and, like, 40% of men did?
Yes.
80% of all women ever had children, and you're going to be like, and you're making me. It's like 80% of men went to war, and we don't complain that your women are forcing us to go to war. It's like, I don't even get it.
Wait, I didn't make you do anything. I didn't make you have sex. I didn't make you do anything.
Right, and then, but we're forcing them to carry the baby, and even if you granted that, it's like, okay, by that logic, you guys force us to go to war? I'm confused.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, and, I always find it funny, too, because a lot of these people... Now, I don't know what, side of the aisle you guys lean on. I'm going to guess it's probably more right, just off this conversation.
Speak your mind, bro. If it falls where it falls, it is what it is.
But I always think it's funny because the people that are all pro-abortion and everything else usually tend to be more Democrat-leaning. And what they don't realize, is that Planned Parenthood, which is one of the biggest sponsors of abortion, was created for the termination of black pregnancies.
Yes.
Strictly for black pregnancies, but they want, we love black people, we want equality, we want this, we want that, but we want abortion, and people are like, oh, well, that's changed now. What they don't understand is half of all abortions in this country are still from minorities.
Is that it? Are you sure it's only half?
I know it's at least half.
Okay, because
at least 50% of abortions are from minority groups.
There's I do know, because I haven't looked at that number, so I'll take your word for it. I don't know, but there's a disproportionately high number of clinics, Planned Parenthood specifically, clinics in black and brown neighborhoods, to use a term they like. Yeah. But Margaret Sanger was the founder of Planned Parenthood. She was a known. What's the word? Eugenicist?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Well, eugenist. I don't think eugenicist is a word, but eugenist.
I think it is. I think the person that does the eugenics is a eugenicist.
Yeah.
I think.
We have evidence that the Austrian painter was about her when he was in jail. So yeah, there's that.
And they have an award named after her, the Margaret Sanger Award.
Right.
MLK got one.
Yeah. I think they might have changed the name because I think people would figure it out. Oh well, it's associated. Yeah.
It's like all the early feminists too. Like what's the other one? Susan B. Anthony, but before her, there's a lot of.
Well, Susan B. Anthony was for life, from what I believe.
Yeah, but there was a lot of these feminist chicks that were straight up, seance. They say Satan worshippers, like Lilith worshippers.
Yes, yeah. I'm not sure. I've heard like Rachel Wilson. Like I think she wrote. Like,
yeah, I've read her book.
Oh, you did? Oh, I want to read it.
It's a good book.
Yeah.
I gave it to my mom. My mom's reading it. She's like, damn.
You know, they also don't understand too. There's about 50,000 or so gun unalivings in this country a year, where there's about almost 300,000 abortions a year.
In America, it's over 1 million, well over 1 million, well over.
Of abortions?
Yes.
Million, right? I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it's that high, is
just
it?
in America alone, it's over 1 million.
It's the leading cause of death in America.
In the world, it's 73 million every single year. Yeah.
I thought it was only 250,000 in America a year.
Oh,
it's well more than that.
I say only. I mean, that's still a big number. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Mind you, guys.
Compared to over 1 million, that's way off.
Mind you, guys, that's a low ball because our country doesn't require data from states to give abortion statistics. So like, that's just data that they generously offer, right? So it could be even higher based on what we.
I've seen somebody say a little bit ago that they're something about they don't support either side and they're pro-choice and Trump's pro-choice.
I think it was Southern. Yeah. The thing is, conservative. There's a lot of pro-choice Republicans. Like I would say, like being pro-choice is the default position, right?
I'm Democrat and I'm pro-life.
Right.
See, I will say this: Trump is definitely a lot more pro-choice than I am. I mean, I am. I guess personally don't understand how anybody could willingly, unalive their own child. Like I just
Wait, who are you referring to?
Don't consider it their child. It's disgusting.
Crazy work.
Am I missing something? Who are you referring to?
What do you mean?
Unalive their own child. Oh, I'm my bad. I thought you were talking about a specific person. I didn't know you were just talking about abortion. My bad.
When was this?
That's the last guy to get the Margaret Sanger thing.
How long ago was that?
Carl G. Hartman?
Yeah.
Medicine? Interesting. Birth control methods? Okay. Present to receive due to illness.
That's the last one was given out in 2015, but it doesn't say like when in 2015.
So is this like the International Eugenicist Award or what? I mean, because like if we look at the past winners, are they all like freak shows or?
Well, they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that.
Well, because I mean, one of them was LK, and then is it a bunch of like doctors that do a lot of birth control work? Or I mean,
I'm not sure. I don't know about the award. I don't know.
Who knows? Who cares?
I've got the list up.
I would be interested to like look into them and be like, I wonder what foundation gives the award. Probably the Margaret Sanger Foundation or Planned Parenthood directly. Is it Margaret Thatcher that was who's the feminist chick?
No, I think Margaret. She was way after.
I'm trying to think of who it was a Margaret something.
Hey, I got a question. Anybody's gonna play the new Battlefield 6?
Probably.
I didn't play the beta yet, but yeah.
I haven't played the beta yet either. I'm gonna definitely get on it. But Battlefield 6 looks crazy in a good way.
What in the world is going on?
I don't know. I'm not too impressed because of the last one. It looks. I think they should have done it. It just looks like.
Bro, Battlefield 6 looks amazing. especially the environment. You could destroy like buildings. They crumble down and shit.
I mean,
You
you could
can like
always do
pretty
that
much you can
in Valorant.
commandeer any vehicle on the map. Like it's a great game.
You could always do that in Valorant.
Now Battlefield 2042 was decent. Wasn't the best in my eyes. Like the graphics were kind of like subpar, but
When they updated
overall the
it,
gameplay was pretty good because you had like a wide range of weapons, vehicles and shit.
Oh my gosh, this Bammy in here. Huh.
Bammy. The heck.
all right. Yeah, I definitely have to give it a try. Battlefield.
You know what else? Like, the one thing I never understood about some people is like, why do they even waste their time coming to me, telling me about the way I speak? It's like they're so fucking sensitive. Like, oh my god, Mac is so mean. Oh my god, like cry about it. Like I don't care.
Is your name Mac?
Yeah, it's me.
I saw you like
Are
destroying.
you Muslim?
Yes, I am.
Interesting.
Oh, that'd be interesting. It's not the live for it, but I mean, but I saw you destroying a bunch of people in what's it? That doesn't mind,
Bro, like these people. I think my IQ dropped a few points. Honestly, dealing with these idiots.
A few.
I'm gonna say my IQ probably dropped 20 points by today. Like holy shit, bro.
You know, it's funny because you say that because earlier, I don't know if you were in here earlier, but we had somebody up here that, their moral compass was so fucked. And, I mean, you can ask the other people up here, it got to the point where, if you want to have a debate, that's fine. But, there's no point in arguing with an idiot. Might as well just, yep, you're right. I mean, you can ask them because I had I had asked them, when a child became a child, and she said at birth, I said, okay, so abortion is good at 8 months. And she's like, yeah. I was like, I have nothing to say now. Like, dude,
Nah,
you're so
some of these
far gone.
women,
Like, there's no point in arguing with you on this anymore. Like,
some of these women are like actually sick in the head.
oh, it's not just women. Men are too.
Yeah, obviously them too. But I'm saying like women because they're the ones who are getting these abortions, and like it's mainly
Right.
women who advocate pro-choice, right? So they're just very sick in the head. Like I've seen on this app alone where women celebrate getting an abortion, and I've seen this one chick. I don't even know her name, right? But she said the only thing hard about what does she say? She said the only hard thing about getting an abortion is deciding which flavor of ice cream I want after. Like, these people are actually sick.
That's disgusting.
Well, the way I
How
look
long have
at
you
it
been
is they'll
Muslim,
all be
man?
judged in the end. We all
So,
will be.
How long have you been Muslim, bud?
since I was 19 years old.
How
Both
old
my
are you now?
parents, 25. Both my parents are Christian. They're non-denominational.
Oh, well,
You live in America, right?
Yeah, born and raised California.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you can. Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. California's cool. I mean, like, we have beautiful landscapes, tons of things to do out here, and don't get me started. Like, the food here is like superb. Like,
I'm
it's,
from
Okay.
San Diego.
Northern California is great. I will give you that. Northern California
I'm
is
wearing a
not.
Chargers shirt and Chargers pants, and I live in Eastern Oregon.
northern. Oh, you're not even that far from me. You're right up. You're just up north.
I just got to say this.
I'm from
Go
San
Bears.
Diego. I go visit all the time.
No way. That's crazy. Nah, Northern California truly is beautiful. Like, they have better air quality. The
You ever been to
landscapes are like-
Julian, California?
No, but actually, the furthest up north I've been to was Redding. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
oh,
I
Reddit.
stopped there. I stopped there when we drove up here from San Diego. We stopped in Redding.
Oh wow, yeah, no, Redding, California is beautiful. I've been up there. When I was a kid, though, I was like 7, 8 years old. My family had been up there like a few times and all that stuff. This was actually during the time where my mother was like, well, my parents have always been involved in church. But like, she went to this church called Bethel. I forgot what it's called, Bethel Church or whatever. I don't even remember the name. It was so long ago. And went up there and all that stuff. We went to the Glass Bridge, right there up in Redding. It's really beautiful up there, man. The only thing I don't like about Northern California is just too cold for me. I like hotter climates.
Yeah, same here a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
way too cold up there.
I live in Eastern Oregon, and we get 110 degrees every summer, but we also get a foot of snow in the winter. So
I live
Yeah,
in
because you
Iowa,
guys,
dude. That's the same. It's the same way with us.
Yeah, same thing.
wow.
Yeah, it's hot, hot. I live in a desert with a river next to it, so it's like
Hey, you
full
don't have the.
desert.
You know what? I would take 110 degrees of dry heat over 110 degrees of heat with humidity. Because I'm going to tell you right
I
now,
don't know. Would you take
100
110 degrees with uh, 40-mile-an-hour gusts? I mean,
Oh, that sounds okay to me.
it's like an air fryer.
Breeze.
Hey,
But
look,
it's like,
I'm gonna tell y'all this: the heat in California or like the Southwest is like a blow dryer.
yeah,
Think,
bro, it's crazy. It's like a
think
heat
the
vent.
heat. Think of the heat like in Florida or like the East Coast is more like a sauna. So you have like, well,
Yes.
yeah, I guess you could say.
It's actually not. I know people hate humidity, but I'm telling you, get this blow dryer to the side of your face heat. Oh my god, it just melts your skin. Like it's horrible. And there's sand in it. It's like the worst.
I got to go, guys. You guys have a good one.
All right,
All
thanks.
right, brother, you have a good one, man. Be safe out there.
Thank you, man.
Not a problem. But yeah, no, Northern California truly is beautiful. Very lush, very clean. But like when you come, not clean, green. Sorry. Like I said, my IQ dropped a few points today dealing with these morons. Yeah, it's very lush, very green and everything. But down here in SoCal, so most like desert. Like we do have palm trees and everything. You know, like we have shrubbery here and there, but like it's just mostly like mountains, valleys, and just sand.
Yeah, and I'm speaking on the blow dryer heat, bro. Like I'm from Southern California. I know the humidity, bro. Like tropical coastal humidity is crazy. And my brother lives in Louisiana, and I went and visited him. My dad lives in Texas, so it's like I've been in the humid, but
I ain't
this
gonna lie to you, bro. As an LA native, I like San Diego way better.
San Diego's way better than LA. LA sucks, dude.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. When it comes to like, here's the thing, right? LA like has more like foundation in regards to, like culture and all that stuff.
I
But I would
get
say
it. I mean,
San Diego, as far as living, is better. Less crime, less homeless people, tons of things to do. You guys also have better beaches than us. I'm not gonna lie to you.
you know what's funny too? Like nobody thinks about this, but if you live in California, everybody in LA goes, "Oh my gosh, San Diego's where all the Trump supporters live." They're like, "Oh, it's the red. It's where all the red people live," and it's like, I mean, not really. Like it's still California, but
Yeah, now
it's
San Diego
better
is still kind of
crime rate,
liberal.
more money. You know, it's kind of better.
Yeah, now San Diego is beautiful, and to be honest with you, I would love to move down there. I got buddies down there in the Dago. It's really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I
Yeah,
love San
I
Diego.
miss palm trees. I miss the beach too, but we have a fat river here. We have like the widest river this side of the Mississippi. We have the wide part of the Columbia River. So like it's not like the beach, but it is a beach. And then but I miss palm trees, honestly. I miss seeing palm trees a lot.
What I want to do, when I ever go back, like never go to San Diego, I want to go swimming at La Jolla Cove with the leopard sharks.
I've swam with the leopard sharks at La Jolla Cove, swam with dolphins at La Jolla Cove, caught leopard sharks at like 5 a.m. at La Jolla. The tide
Leopard
pool,
sharks leopard sharks are harmless to us. They don't bite or
yeah, they don't
anything.
do anything. They're like fish. Like
Yeah,
they don't even do anything. And
yeah.
we
I
caught
think
one.
leopard. I think their main diet is like crustaceans.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool looking creatures though. And then there's tide pools at La Jolla too. So if you go at the right time, there's tide pools. You get starfish and stuff.
Also, too, the beaches in San Diego, like the water is a little bit warmer. Beaches here in LA, bro, they're like, especially in the wintertime, they are freezing.
Oh, I think we may have an op. All right, lights. Ringer, what is your age? What's your stance?
But I actually
What's
know this
up?
guy. He's friendly. It's cool.
Yeah, say voiceless. We were friends on my main. It's Jacob, but yeah, I'm
Oh, nice.
I agree with the prompt due to a causal obligation, and I'm 30.
Oh, W, nice. Um,
Sorry, Mac, I missed your message. I actually was busy. I apologize. I missed that.
Yeah, no, it's not a problem, brother. But yeah, no, like with regards to the water in San Diego, it is much warmer over there. That's what I love about it. But in LA, it's freezing, especially during the wintertime.
what do you think about San Francisco?
I fucking hate San
Fuck San
Francisco. I
Francisco.
would never in my life, I wouldn't even step 50 miles a radius of that place. Fuck San Francisco.
Yeah, bro. San Diego and LA, even LA is better than San Francisco by a lot, honestly.
Yeah, it is. I'll say like in my opinion, the best metropolitan city in California is San Diego. Plus, San
I
Diego
agree.
has tons of job opportunities and everything. Beautiful beaches. Like, I want to move down there.
Yeah, like the three bit major metros of California, right, are obviously LA, San Diego, and San Francisco. And San Francisco is by far the worst. It's not even close.
Yeah, San Francisco's not even. It's ugly too. The weather is trash. The people suck. You just have a bunch of fucking rain. I'm not even gonna say it.
Crazy crime too, and the cost of living is just ridiculous.
If I were to get rid of one city in California, it'd be definitely be San Francisco. They can eat a dick.
I agree.
I hate San Francisco.
Isn't there Sacramento or Oakland? Been there?
Nah, Sacramento's chill. I mean, you gotta. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of chicks in Sacramento are hoes. That's what it's known for.
Sacramento is nothing but desert.
It's not. It's mostly lush and green up there. But like Sacramento is where a lot of like prostitutes at, low key.
Yeah, there's really not a lot of green anymore, especially right now. It's all like the marshland and shit.
If you want a healthy relationship, don't date nobody from Sacramento. They're whores.
Thanks for the advice.
Damn, I'm on the way. I'm kidding.
Wow.
Okay, that was kind of funny. All right. How you doing, Panda?
I'm doing great. Just causing trouble in Discord, which is fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. The best cities in California, the best place in California to like. I mean, honestly, you shouldn't, but the best cities in California to find a good woman. God damn, it's hard, really.
Anaheim.
Santa Barbara, fire, man. Santa
I'd
Barbara.
say probably Orange
You want
County.
a
Like,
wino?
I'd probably say like the beach cities, like in Orange County and stuff, because like mostly conservative chicks to actually want relationships. That I would also say like other rural areas of California, like up north. Yeah, stay away from like definitely don't date a LA bitch.
Huntington Beach is great too. I like Huntington personally.
Wait,
Have you
like
guys
bring our
been to the Kite Settler, the Kite Festival?
Lightbringer, are you in California right now?
Yeah, bro. I live in SoCal.
No fucking way, bro.
We all do. Yeah. Mac is
What?
literally over the mountain from me.
What the fuck, yo? Have you ever heard of a city called Paris, California?
Yeah, bro. You're not that far from me. I live in Ventura County, bro. I'm like an hour from downtown LA.
Oh yeah, I
you're
know
only an
exactly
hour
where that's
from
at.
me because I'm over here by Pinion Hills and Phelan.
Damn, well, we're all closer than I thought.
Yep.
Damn, that's fucking crazy, bro.
I'm actually closer to Mac than you, but it's fine.
Yeah, because you're in Big Bear, huh?
I'm on the other side of Big Bear, yeah. I'm
Oh,
literally right on the base of it.
Yeah, you're like 70 miles away from me. It's not too bad.
Mm-mm. As the crow flies.
Damn, that's wild.
Yeah, I'm like
You know,
2 counties away. I was born in OC.
Yeah. Yeah, I was born and raised in Los Angeles. Now I live in Riverside County.
Wait, Southern said that she's been to Death Valley. I'd rather go to Dumont than Death Valley, but it's not too far.
Death Valley in the summertime is hell.
Yeah, 130 degrees. I'm good.
You know, at one point, Death Valley was actually the hottest desert on Earth. It hit a record.
Wow.
Still is. In the early 20th century, it set the record for 134. It's yet to be broken. They argued it tied in Libya, like in the 2010s, but technically it still holds the hottest temperature ever recorded.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Sauce. I can handle that.
For all y'all use
It's definitely Death Valley, and after that, it's the Sahara Desert of North Africa.
Exactly. Like North Africa is second to Death Valley. And what's crazy about Death Valley too is that it's a desert that's below sea level and Furnace Creek is consistently over 120. Like in every summer it hits that 120 plus, which is crazy, right? And the record is stood for over 100 years. And so it's like it's no joke, Like it's no joke.
Right.
Yeah. California really, I mean, outside of like the whole, prices and everything, California is actually a pretty chill place to live. Like there's so many things to do out here.
I agree. Well, we have so like I'm a Californian that likes to debate on California against other people. And I will admit, I'll concede that the legislation and the prices are ridiculous based on demand and obviously politics. I'm a political science guy, but when it comes to the terrain, it's the only all-terrain state I can think of, right? Like we have desert to the southeast. We have the stereotypical like California, like the cliche beaches in the southwest. We have the high Sierras in the north and lakes like Lake Tahoe and shit, all that stuff, right? We've got the Bay on the northwest. Like we've got everything, topographically, it's the most diverse. It's not like New Mexico, You know?
Yeah, I love California because like here's the thing, right? So if you want to go snowboarding, you can go to Mount Shasta North, right? If you want to go fishing, you feel me? You can go to like Lake Paris or any other
There's
like.
snowboarding in Big Bear.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. You can do a lot of like fish. If you want to like, go like dune riding with your buddies, you can go out right out here. You feel me? Like
100%. We even got the islands. We all have as people who live in the LA area. We have the Channel Islands off the coast. If you want to like take a day trip, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm going to Catalina.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I love California so much, but it's like, damn. It's like just we need to get our shit together.
Percent. You know who I don't like? Gavin Newsom. But anyway, that's the whole thing.
Bro, Gavin Newsom, he could suck a dick, bro. I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't wait until he's gone.
I fucking hate Gavin, bro. Oh my god.
2 recall attempts and he's still not out.
You know who his family member was?
I'm gonna just say this though.
Right?
It's kind of sad how JFK got, taken out, but Gavin Newsom is still here.
That's true, bro. Like Gavin's a literal criminal.
Like I'll be thinking to myself, it's like, how is this man not sniped yet? Like what the fuck?
Well, what I don't understand is how in the hell is he getting away with selling those people's lands in the Palisades?
How's he getting away with any? Look at the water.
That's crazy.
The water shit that he did, where he like never completed any of the funding, over $1 billion allocated for finishing our water projects, and let the fires go as they will. He shut down people's businesses during C-19, but left his wineries open.
Mm-hmm.
He also took bribes from Panera to not have to raise their minimum wage to $20 an hour, and then everybody else had to. That didn't. It's weird. They donated 6 figures through his political campaign, and all of a sudden Panera was exempt for having to raise wages for their workers, and everybody else did.
Yeah, he's a big work.
Yeah, he's fucking.
All jokes aside, I actually love my state.
I love my state too. I just hate Newsom.
Me too. Yeah, I love my state, like what it offers topographically. I hate the politics though. Overall.
Listen, if California had like Texas laws and policies, it'd be
coming.
perfect.
That's why Newsom's trying to fight Trump right now. But
exactly.
what I like about where
But
I'm
Newsom
at,
has no idea. Newsom is like one thing about he's barking up the wrong tree with Trump. Like going against Trump is something you do not want to do, buddy.
Well, did you notice that when Trump actually was face to face with him, he backed off?
He did.
I saw that reported on the news of like when they met up and like in person and shit. Is like, yeah,
he literally tucked his tail like he was. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, bro. If I agree with Mac, like if California had closer ideology into like say Texas or some other slightly more conservative, like whether substantially more or slightly more, it'd be a way better place to live. Prices would go down, crime would be more punished. It'd be just perfect.
But the last time that we were red was when Arnold Schwarzenegger was in office.
Yeah. How long was that? Was like 10 years ago?
No, that was 16 years
20.
ago. No, more than that.
Like 20 years ago, right?
20 years ago. I actually got to meet him when he was running.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and we haven't voted yet.
I know. No, you're good. No, but what I was trying to say earlier was I like where I'm at the base of Big Bear because I'm only an hour from the snow if I wanted to, or mountain resorts. 2.5 hours away from the river, 2 hours away from the beach, and 3 hours away from Vegas. So
5 hours from Vegas. Like if I drop my car right now, I could probably get there in like 4.5 hours. 5 hours.
4 hours away too.
Like California hasn't gone red as a state overall based on like presidential elections since the end of the Reagan era and the beginning of the Clinton era. It's been over 30 years, but in the last presidential election, it was the most red it's been in forever. If you look at the district.
I'm actually hoping that Sheriff Bianco gets it.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm gonna show y'all who I voted for.
Oh, wait a minute. What's your age? What's your stance, Rex?
I'm 59 from California, and I voted for Trump.
Well,
he's a good guy.
That's not related to they're just talking about like, are you pro-life or pro-choice?
Oh, I'm definitely pro-life. I just got off a crazy live arguing with a bunch of people about that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Then Are you have any exceptions? Are you pro life all the way?
No exceptions.
W, nice.
And medical issues, deliver an early baby. You can never intentionally unalive another human being. Right?
I agree 100%.
Getting a follow for that, bro.
Yeah, likewise.
I had a good debate today with some women that were stuck on the organ donation.
Yeah.
And they were kept trying to say that they were be obligated to donate an organ, and I said, no, you're not. And so they kept trying to compare that to donating their body to nourish their baby. Of course, I always say, and I see it's left out of a lot of talks, is parents have an obligation to nurture and protect their offspring, right? So if you guys got a good argument, what would be a good argument that you would have for somebody that insists that organ donation is the same as creating a pregnancy?
Well, in the case, I would say, like, by refusing to give someone an organ, that's an inaction, right? You're not causing that person unalive. Whatever condition they're in is causing them to unalive. Whereas an abortion, you're literally the cause of the child's death, right?
Right.
So that's one big difference. One of them is inaction.
That's the other half that I think I was missing, because what I maintain with them is when you intentionally unalive somebody, that's wrong. I just didn't have the other half when you say inaction. So thank you for that.
Well, mind you, I do think in some cases inaction could be considered wrong, but like in this case, in this case, right, like not giving someone your kidney is just not analogous to, unaliving a child, ripping a child to pieces. So yeah, I mean, I don't run causal, but like the people who would run causal is you didn't cause that person to be right. If they did, then absolutely there's an obligation. But I don't run causal. But yeah, I mean, see the violinist argument. I had to reconsider my position. I wouldn't necessarily see that as a hill to unalive on. Like, yeah, sure, you just sustain them. I wouldn't really see the hill of unaliving on that.
The violinist reductio is easy to counter. Like, one, you could just say that the subject that's doing the harm to the mother is an amoral agent in this regard. So we can say, like, with proportional force, the individual should have rights to like defend if it's the case that this type of thing is going to like threaten her life. In a sense, like the goal would not necessarily be to unalive the sleepwalking rapist, but just enough to get him away. But if it is a case that this sleepwalking rapist is going to like invoke some sort of the harm on the subject that's clearly the victim, then they'll have rights to kill them.
Right. Well, I would say in that case, like, I would say rape is an immoral action, despite the fact that the person is amoral, right? But like, I don't see how existing inside a woman's womb is an immoral action. So if anybody has that view, I would need an article.
I was say we could discuss that too. That's definitely a thing. I was say X-Rex. You could also just run the reductio and eventually corner them on. Because what it boils down to, right, is like it basically boils down to viability, and viability is very easy to argue against because like nobody even post-birth is viable, right? So you can just run reductios in any number of ways to the point where you highlight the inconsistency in their reasoning, and then they usually fold or they pursue out and close the box,
Right.
But also is that like I like to run causal as well, so you could also argue the causal obligation for care for somebody you created. And you could also run the autonomy infringement, like bodily autonomy infringement on a human being in utero.
Right.
But yeah.
How do you feel about people who try these crazy analogies or hypotheticals that aren't even... I had somebody the other day tell me, well, what about if someday they found out that half of the humans weren't really human? I mean, it's so absurd.
This is a debate. You have to be willing to engage, but depending on how they would answer this question, right? So I've heard this multiple times, right? So if they were to say, if you found out tomorrow that Russians like weren't humans, I would say this is just a this is logically impossible, right? Depending on how you define Russian, right? Russian is a like an ethnic group of humans. So for a person to be Russian, they would have to be human in the first place, right? So I would say, depending on how they would define it, it's illogically impossible. Like hypothetical. In that case, yeah.
Can I hear a crazy one that I heard in a live day before yesterday?
Yeah.
That sperm can smell, and that it has sentience as a sperm.
That is absurd. Also,
And guess who said that? A pro-choicer.
Oh, well, that's not surprising.
Wait,
All right,
so if
Sky.
it's the case, if there's a subject like the question I would ask in regards to like the Russian hypothetical. So is it the case that the Russians would have like all the neurological functions or like some sort of genetic material in order to actualize the thing we value? That's the first thing that's in question. If it's true that the subject does not have any of these necessary conditions in which would actualize the things I value, then I would say they're not worthy of more consideration. So, like in turn, like if they're human, but they possess like all the things in which I uphold, then I'll grant them the considerations, right? Because my stance is not human and alive. I don't care about that. It just so happens that the entity has the type of like material in which would invoke this type of thing of value. That's what I give it to. So,
Right.
yeah.
I'd say human alive is sufficient.
So just to be clear, if all Russians weren't human, but they still possess like all the, psychological faculties we possess, then I'll grant them more consideration.
Yes.
But if it is a case that they don't have any,
That's actually the answer I gave to this person. I said, well, if they weren't human and they had all the intelligence and the morals and we shared all these mutual things, then it'd be wrong to unalive them.
yeah, if they have a genetic capacity, so like the way I find capacity is going to represent like the maximum amount in which this being can handle due to like the ontological makeup of it. So like the ontology is going to be nature of something, right? The teleology is going to be its purpose. So like if the ontological makeup of the being or the subject, right, is going to have this subjective experience, or it's going to have like some level of higher rationale, then I'll afford them more consideration. But if it's the case they don't have any of these qualifiers, then they're not morally considered under my view. So regardless if it is human, if they don't have any of these functions, then yeah, they're not morally considered.
All right. So Sky, what's your stance?
All right, I just talked to Sky earlier. I was chill.
Oh, is he pro life?
Nah, he was pro-choice. I was just trying to like help him out with his view and everything. But
I think I might have seen it before.
I'm gonna drop here. I gotta wake up early tomorrow and finish some paperwork for court.
All right.
no worries. Good luck and nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I gave you guys a follow, so have a good night, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right, I'll follow you back.
All right.
all right, good night.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right. If it's rage bait, why don't you come disprove this rage bait?
So I always hear this one pro-choicer always bring up a molar pregnancy when you bring up it's a lie.
Yes, the molar pregnancy. Again, you got to know what it is to combat it, right? So it would have to meet all 7 characteristics of life, right?
Right.
Now, right. The partial molar pregnancy, it really depends, right? There are a few cases where there has been a child attached to it, but it's never made it full term, right? So if there is a child attached to the partial molar pregnancy, my position is still the same. It would be impermissible to unalive it, right? But if there is no child attached to it, then yeah, I don't see a reason why to keep it. So yeah, that's how you answer that question.
So the one without the molar pregnancy without a child attached to it that's just some genetic material
Yeah.
that's simulating a pregnancy, basically.
Yes.
Damn, I think we got some trolls in the comments.
I don't think request up. Oh, I can't request them up. Wow, they're private. I'm assuming. What a coincidence.
But yeah, so like on my view is very simple. It's flow plus causal. It's saying that although saying the causal obligation, it's saying that although the being may have a feature like ours and it's morally considered, given the case that the action in which brought this being in a state of dependency wasn't due to the action of the mother, but rather another party, which cause an involuntary action, I would say the mother's not obligated to sustain pregnancy. So, like me upholding this, like this disqualifier, it's not saying that the fetus is less valuable because it was conceived through rape. Rather, it's just invoking that the mother doesn't have any sort of obligation to it. So that's my on it. With regards to like the as to why this being is morally considered, it's just going to be a set of like biological preconditions in which would enact this thing I value, which is like higher rationale, the ability to love others, also the ability to like compartmentalize their thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and to see how their actions could impact others. So this automatically makes us moral agents. Since we are moral agents, or of the rational kind, in which can have these qualities, it's the reason that I grant us moral consideration. But it's not because of our species, right? Like I can care less if it's human. It just so happens that the type of qualities that's in this being's like ontological makeup is what I value. So like in a hypothetical world, if you swapped all human minds into cows, then I'll value the cows because they have one of my things which I value. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
What about robbing somebody of future experiences?
What do you mean?
I wouldn't say it's all wrong in all cases. Like I am pro unalignment penalty. My mind was changing on that. I used to be very anti.
Wait, I'm confused. Are you asking me with regards to like the death penalty?
No, I think it means like future, like robbing a future of somebody, right?
Yeah, I'll say at face value that'd be wrong. Yeah.
Right. Well, see, it's a unique position that I intend on discussing with Mac on another time because I want to I think I have some good counter arguments to your perspective, Mac. I'd love to talk to you on Discord because TikTok has no freedom of speech. So, but I mean, we can't even say half the shit we want to say without getting.
I mean, you can go on Rumble, I think, much less censored, or Twitter. That's what the plan was supposed to be. I was gonna do this originally on YouTube, but YouTube doesn't have the panel, to have this stuff.
Always use Discord because Mac and I have Discord, so I'd like to talk to him about it on there and like go have a back and forth on there to see if I can. Yeah. I get what you're saying though. Like, wouldn't you agree though that only nullifies the causal obligation, but it doesn't nullify the autonomy argument?
Wait, what do you mean? I'm confused.
So, like your position, as I sent you in the message, right? It's a good position overall. My question though is, doesn't it only like the grape, right? Only nullifies the causal obligation component, but it doesn't nullify like the bodily autonomy argument, right?
Right. So, like in the case to where, like the causal obligation is going to be that if the mother like created a state of affairs for the subject, like if there is any sort of act in which she committed that brought this being in a state of dependency, this would create the moral obligation. So that's what causal is going to stipulate. Causal doesn't causal doesn't like protect or have like some sort of umbrella to life of the mother or grape. Because
I agree. I agree. That's what I was saying. I'll tell you more. Like I'm saying, it only nullifies that aspect. I'll grant you that it nullifies the causal stipulation, right? It nullifies the
because they're going to agree. Okay, well, they'll say like, well, I'm not obligated to sustain anything or like sustain a non-sentient being. Then the question I would ask them is, okay, let's just imagine if you had a building, let's say in a building in which you damage. Let's just imagine that you purposely destroyed half of this building on purpose because you just wanted to see whatever. Would you say in this sense that you caused this thing to be there? You would say yes. Are you obligated to like say repair the building? Most of them would say yes. Well, why exactly are you obligated to repair something in which doesn't have mind?
No, I agree that the causal obligation is nullified, but like I messaged you, like I said, we'll just talk about it in disc because I think I have other metrics by which I would argue that it's still wrong to do so, but it's just causal is not one of them. I will concede that causal obligation is nullified by grape, but I'd say that causal obligation is not the sole metric by which I evaluate abortion to be wrong. Does that make sense?
Mac, in that scenario, right, they would just say, like, that building has instrumental value, but, stuff like that.
But that'd just be begging the question. I mean, we can use the same argument for, like, the fetus in utero, who would have, like, instrumental value, too. Like, they have the ability to utilize things in our world in which would benefit themselves and others, and also have the capacity to love and build relationships and, flourish as a species, or like at least aid benefit to our species, right? So the same argument can be made for the subject doesn't have a mind either.
All right, that's a fair point. All right.
We have
Yeah.
Rakim. What's up, Rakim? Can you get your age for TikTok, please? Rakim.
Who you talking to me?
Yes.
56. I'm out of Georgia. I'm a U.S. Navy vet.
All right, cool, man. Thank you for your service. I seen your comment. You said men discussing a woman and her doctor's privacy absurd. What's going to be absurd about the proposition?
It's that is absolutely my opinion. That the decision that a woman makes with her body.
That's just going to be circular.
Can you let me just finish? I don't have much to say, bro. You invited me up. I wasn't even.
And you chose to join
this absurd conversation.
Yeah, what's the argument that it's absurd?
Women should have complete.
I think this guy's an NPC. I forgot. I forgot people like him probably don't even understand anything.
Yeah, that's an appeal to identity fallacy, Rakim, right? So like saying that men discussing women's body, it's like, first of all, it doesn't matter, right? You don't have to belong to a certain demographic to have thoughts on or pose a logical argument for or against something. That's called the appeal to identity fallacy, right? And second of all, you got to answer the questions, right? This isn't just like a general discussion, like we're asking you to state premises and come to conclusions. It may not be a formal debate, but you should be able to track that, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, like, for example, I'm not a BLK man, but I advocate for equal rights for all like minorities, right? And
Yes.
BLK. Woo.
Yeah, we all right, Zion, what's your age? What's your stance?
21, and I'm pro-life.
W, nice. Have any exceptions? Are you all the way?
No, I have no exception. I think the only exception is self-defense when the mother's life is in danger.
W, that's a victory. Nice.
That is-
I mean, anybody want to talk to Sai? Someone said he's an op. I'm not even sure if he's still here.
Good, I'm down.
Yo.
What up?
All right. All right. Can we confirm your age before we continue?
Yeah, I'm 21.
All right. Wait a minute. This guy. Okay, you can talk to him, Lights.
Under Rakim, who didn't seem to track it. All right, yeah. So Sky, yes, are you pro-life or pro-choice?
I mean, I would say, I would say probably more of pro-choice, but I think I could apply like pro-life and like a more of a moral stance, or I could see how it could be morally more convenient. But I think I'll be pro-choice for the time being.
All right, so you lean towards pro-choice, but you're kind of. It sounds like you're almost on the fence, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of pro-choice. I mean, to be fair, I think there's a lot of pro-choice arguments that are pretty like shitty. But I think, yeah, I mean, I think pro-life definitely has more of like a versatile side. I would say. I'm not sure.
All right. Would you mind stating your premise that allows you to arrive at a pro-choice conclusion? Like, what idea set things you follow? Like, what leads you to the conclusion of leaning towards pro-choice? I'll say.
I mean, I guess I could just say. I guess I'll just hold like a sentience argument. Obviously, fetus not having any of these experiences, such as awareness, pain, etc. I guess without these experiences, there wouldn't be any like account of harm, and I guess harm would lead me down the path of like moral or not morally justified actions, and yeah, I'm not sure that works.
Okay. All right. Do you believe that, so sentience typically occurs, the scientific research generally points to late second trimester / beginning of third trimester. So like 24 to 26 weeks, we're going to say. That's what the NIH says. It's what various other sources that we look at, right? But Would you say that beings prior to developing sentience are not worth moral consideration?
Yeah, if they don't have developed, I guess. Yeah.
All right, even though that those beings are like the same human beings on a linear time scale where they're in the process of developing the things that you value?
Yeah.
So would it be morally permissible to say like mutilate a fetus at like say 22 weeks? Just like mutilate it, use it, maybe put it on my car?
Well, I mean, that's. I mean, I don't think that would be. What would be the word? I mean, I don't think that. I mean, now unaliving it, sure. Yeah, I think that could be justified. But now hanging it and on the wall and stuff, I don't know about that one.
What? Why not though? If it's not worthy of moral consideration.
Well, because I think that accounts for like a different type of like negative outcome for like just humans in general.
Well, right, but if it's not worthy of moral consideration, like shouldn't I be able to do what I want to it?
I think this like action would lead more to like a negative thing than more of a positive. I think abortion would fall under like positive and negative experiences.
So what if I like just like frame it on my wall in a household of people who say don't afford it moral consideration?
Yeah, I think that would like I guess I kind of like would say like that kind of leads to like a negative thing, less of like a positive thing. Like it wouldn't really be okay because like abortion would fall under like positive experiences would come for this, which would be the mother and her explanation for the reason being, and then the negative effects would be obviously this life would not be no longer existing, and yeah.
All right. So when it comes to reasons for abortion, right? So I'll say a couple things to that. One, it shouldn't make any difference if it's framed in a household, in which case nobody affords it moral consideration. So I just don't understand why you think it's wrong. The second thing I would say is that most abortions are elective based on the top reasons are usually financial instability or like an unwillingness to have the child. Over 90% of abortions are attributable to these two things. If we look at the Charlotte-Lozier Institute, Abort 73, the Guttmacher Institute, etc., and the CDC, only around 0.5% of all abortions are had out of as a result of rape, and only like a slightly over 1% are for other serious reasons like life of the mother and so on and so forth. Really, it's about 98% of abortions are essentially don't fit the mold of like what you would constitute as quote unquote positive. So basically, it would fall under an extreme, and we can't use an extreme to justify a whole of a process. That's known as the appeal to extremes fallacy. Also, per Yale Medicine and the CDC, the chances of, just to put this out there in case if you're wondering about life of the mother, all pregnancy-related deaths in the United States, so domestically, the chance of that is 0.022%, roughly, when we round it, or 1 in 4,250, which would also fall under the appeal to extreme threshold. So knowing this, with source citations, and you're welcome to consult them, does that change your perspective on things or no?
Well, just to clarify, one reason, I mean, I would say probably not really, because one thing that would really kind of throw this out in the air would just be like, I would say that abortion's safer than like pregnancy overall. I mean, I guess you could say abortion could lead to harmful things, but you could say the same thing for pregnancy, but also more positive things would come from abortion than pregnancy.
Okay, so there are actually more medical complications. The life of the mother is actually put substantially at risk via abortion, as opposed to like just say having the child regularly. And like I cited from Yale Medicine and the CDC, the chances of all pregnancy-related deaths are about 1 in 4,250 in the U.S. It doesn't actually, statistically speaking, it'd be negligible. They're not actually in danger, and even if anything, it's never medically necessary. We have things like C-sections, and we have countermeasures even for ectopics. So it's like it's not a good argument to make when it comes to like life of the mother or like, you know, it's really just statistically out of convenience, right? And the good outcome, I would say, I would pose to you, is it a good outcome to break the causal obligation to take care of a human being that you statistically, knowingly, and willingly created, i.e. consensually?
I mean, well, first off, I mean, obvious. So I'm sure you would agree. I'm assuming your stance is probably like causal or flow. I'm sure
Oh, I
you
have
would.
multiple, yeah.
Okay, so you would probably agree, I would assume, that preventing like a sperm or an egg from reaching like fertilization would be wrong.
No.
Okay, so then that means you would be okay with like uh wait, sorry. You would be okay with like, or you wouldn't be okay with like someone like ripping out like a sperm cell from them.
What do you mean ripping out a sperm cell?
Like if somehow like a sperm cell was like about to reach like an egg, and someone like somehow like was able to like take that sperm cell out before it reached the egg, they should be like morally, or they should be like criminalized just as much as like someone who like murders someone, like a grown man like murdered another man or something like that.
No, because that's what's known as a false equivalency. There is no life at the point of a sperm cell and an egg cell individual. Life only occurs post-fertilization, or at fertilization onward. They're both haploid as opposed to diploid zygotic life.
Oh, so you don't think there's life there, like sperm and an egg?
So sperm and egg distinctly do not meet the same criteria for life, as we can go over the same the 7 characteristics, or I can give you 4 different sided characteristics, such as the ability to grow, metabolize, move, and respire. So sperm and eggs only have half the necessary DNA on an individual basis, right? They're haploid cells. They're not diploid zygotic life. So at a point that fertilization occurs, you have all the genetic DNA needed, all the characteristics like chromosomes, and then you begin to grow, be able to metabolize, respire, move, etc. Sperm and eggs don't have those in anywhere near the same capacity, actually, and they auto-terminate. So
I'm a little confused here, because wouldn't that be like disrupting like the biological process? Like a
well, sure, you could argue it's disrupting the biological process, but it's not ending a life.
Well, but it's keeping a life from being created.
Sure, but it's not ending a currently existing life. One is contraceptive, one is terminative. One ends an existing life, one prevents a life from starting.
Okay. I guess. So I mean, okay. So you would agree that like if you cause a life to exist, you're morally responsible to like sustain it.
Correct.
Cool. So, if you cause something to exist, yes or no? Like, would you agree on this? It would be your duty to sustain it, because, or no, sorry. Like, would you think the parents would be morally obligated to keep like an adult child alive, like paying food, shelter, medical care, because they cause existence?
I'm assuming this is a reductio. Yeah, I mean, I would argue that you're obligated to keep in this case, sure, like a defenseless or a baby that can't take care of itself alive. Yes, like to be specific, because I know you're running the reductio, but yeah, I would argue that someone who creates something who cannot care for itself and has no agency is obligated to keep it alive. When that individual does have the ability to care for itself, then obviously it can follow a different course of action. But yes, it obligated that, assuming the human being has no agency, which it doesn't at that point of fertilization and gestation and at any point, then you're obligated to keep it alive.
Wait, no. I'm referring to like a 30-year-old man or something.
Sure. If the 30-year-old man would unalive as a result of me failing to care for him, then yes, I would say that I should keep him alive.
Okay. So like you would be obligated to like rescue them from like danger, or like keeping them alive in every circumstance?
Me personally, I believe so.
So regardless of the circumstances the person's kept in, you have to be obligated to keep them alive. You don't find that like absurd even a little bit?
Well, I mean, okay. So I don't know how like far we're going to take the hypothetical. So like, let's say the human being is, a baby in utero or a human being in gestation is dependent on me for survival biologically. The 30-year-old man is no longer biologically dependent on me for survival, right? So if the person is actually dependent on me, where they have like a medical condition where if I don't feed them or I don't give them water and they will unalive, then yes, I am obligated to care for them. I created them. They have these things they can't control. They're dependent on me. Now, if it's like, oh, they go join the CTEL and they're unaliving people, and then all of a sudden their rivals come and they're depriving people of their life and their body autonomy, and then all of a sudden their rivals come, am I obligated to interject? Not necessarily.
Light. I think you're misinterpreting something like causal. So in this scenario, it's not that you created this person, right? Let's say if you put that 30-year-old person in that situation, then that'd be causal.
Right. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I'm saying it kind of doesn't correlate the way that what I'm saying causal is in I created a human being who is biologically dependent on me, so I'm causally obligated to care for that human being. Because they're in a state of dependency and had no agency.
Okay, well, I'll give you like an example, like a hypothetical. Like, say, like it's like a homeless man, and it's like my son. Like, should I be legally obligated because he's like starving to death? Should I like be legally obligated to walk over there and give him food, or he dies?
Why you didn't create the homeless man? Or are you saying the homeless man is your son?
Yeah, like he's my kid. He's like 30 years old.
Well, at that point, he's no longer dependent on me, though, biologically. So I would say, should you be legally obligated? No, because you're not. But at the same time, like morally, I would, but legally, no.
Wait, why though? I'm confused.
So morally, I would, based on obviously my subjective sense of morality, right? But legally, right? Legally, I don't believe that you should, because then you're punished for a lack of doing so when he's not actually physically dependent on you at the age of 30. Now, if he was born with a medical condition in which he is dependent on me, and that attributes to him being homeless or not unable to provide for himself, then yes, I would say I should be obligated, because that's out of his control. But as a 30-year-old,
you like the P and not P here, like you said, like how they're like morally obligated to sustain it, like once you cause this being to exist, and then you're not morally obligated to sustain it to cause this being to exist. Like,
well,
you know what I mean?
you're morally obligated. That's why I drew the distinction for someone without agency in a state of dependency, right? So you're obligated to care for the person who is dependent on you, right? Without agency.
30-year-old.
But the 30-year-old homeless man is not biologically dependent on me. It doesn't rely on me to be able to provide food, shelter, protection.
Well, I could just stipulate that the fetus would not rely on you. Like, say there's like an artificial womb. Like, you know.
What do you
like
think?
Fetus. Would this fetus still be like obligated? Like to be cared for by you?
An artificial womb, like in the, like a lab?
Yeah, like.
This is a very weird reductio, but go ahead, just like spell it out.
I thought you were supposed to be questioning his sentient stance, but
Well, yeah, I guess we kind of went off topic, but I just want to see where this went. But yeah, I mean, like, would you think like the person would still be obligated to like take care of this baby inside this artificial womb because their sperm cell and their egg like made this baby, and they made it
an artificial womb that isn't that? Aren't they already doing that by putting them there? Like the artificial womb, I'm assuming provides care, and then I'd oversee it, right?
Yeah, the artificial one provides care, but wouldn't the mother still need to like sustain it to some extent?
Yeah, I would argue that they should, sure, but then it's to the point where when it's no longer biologically dependent on the outside resources, right? Then we can make another case, like say the homeless man was not biologically dependent. The average 30-year-old will say, for the sake of logic and not appealing to extremes, the average 30-year-old is not biologically dependent on other human beings to exist beyond, say, labor and food cultivation, but not like to breathe, to protect itself, to clothe itself, etc.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The newborn isn't biologically like needed you anymore.
In the hypothetical, or in general.
Yeah, like the newborn just doesn't like, because the artificial womb is like sustaining it. Like, would you still be obligated to like sustain it?
Will it unalive without my service or supervision in any capacity, or is it good? Like what happens? Does it just grow up to be a normal person, or?
Yeah, it would grow up.
I personally would, but yeah, I guess you wouldn't be, as long as the baby gets to have their right to life, like their life, and grow and preserve their autonomy, then I suppose not.
Wait, so you don't see how like that doesn't follow? Like, because you're saying like how you should be obligated to take care of it, not the artificial one.
Well, the reason I'm saying I should be obligated is because the reason I'm saying I see what you're doing and I get it, but the reason I'm saying I'm obligated is because in that state of dependency, in other words, it's my obligation is locked to dependency and consent, right? So, like in the sense of grape, I would argue that causal obligation does not apply, and in the sense of a lack of dependency, then you can make a different argument here, right?
But you're just claiming because that it's a biological process means that this person, that doesn't even add up. So it's a biological process for the 30-year-old too. I don't understand. Like he was biologically came from you.
What do you mean it's a biological process for 30? I understand that they come from me, but the 30-year-old has agency, is sovereign, and is not dependent on me to exist anymore beyond, obviously the gestational period, but Like the baby is not able to exist independently without me.
Okay, well, but he's dependent on someone, or he'll like unalive. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, in which case I said I would care for them.
But should someone be like legally obligated?
If they're in the state of dependency, then yes. Like actual dependency, like as in they're biologically unfit to care for themselves, and I would argue yes. I said no earlier because I didn't add in a stipulation for dependency. If we're saying they're actually dependent, then yes.
Wait, so if a homeless person's dependent on someone else because they need food, but they're able to like go get the food, they just choose not to. They just choose to sit there and just die.
Right.
Someone should be legally obligated.
Then no, that's a fault. That would be the false equivalency between that and a human being who cannot do those things.
Wait, it cannot do these things?
Well, I'm saying a human being in utero can't do those things. Even a newborn can't do those things. That's why I'm saying it's a weird reductio you're running.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, like, either you sustain it or you don't. And if you do sustain it, then you're just saying that regardless of the situation your child's in, you have to sustain it. And, you know, that would obviously lead to some sort of absurdity. And then if you're saying you don't have to sustain it, then that would just kind of like contradict your stance.
No, I'm saying, okay, again, I'm saying sustaining it with the contingencies of a lack of agency and a state of dependency. That's why I keep repeating that, right? So like if you don't consent to making the baby, then you have no causal obligation. And is one for great, but number two is that if the person is not in a state of dependency, right, or a state or has no agency, and then obviously you can make another argument for it.
So you don't think that someone should be like the parent shouldn't have to have like an unlimited duty to parent for the kid, or even when they're an adult?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Like the parent shouldn't have like a unlimited duty, like they shouldn't have to infinitely care for them like their whole life.
If they're not in a state of dependency, then no.
So they have to only be in a biological state of dependency.
I'd say that's one of the core tenets, as well as having a lack of agency.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty weird.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to end up being a weird result here with the reductio, but could we go back to sentience, because that was the initial thing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess.
Right. So, also, what up, Meatball? Well, I mean, you say it's weird, but anyway. So the would you say that sentience is kind of an arbitrary line to draw?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if you give moral consideration to human beings who are only, like, say, sentient but not non-sentient, beyond, obviously, sure, it's a biological hallmark, would you say that that's still kind of like an arbitrary line to draw when it comes to moral consideration?
No, I don't think there's anything arbitrary about sentience.
Not biologically, but morally.
I mean, not really. I mean, most pro-lifers would agree that the sentience and like the self-defense argument is like the strongest on pro-choice, anyways. So I mean,
well, yeah, no, but I'm just asking you, why do you think it's not arbitrary? I mean, a lot of them also disagree on that, but I won't go into all that. So I'm just asking, why don't you think it's arbitrary?
Because I don't really take account of harm to be like what like flow and causal would be. Like I just take account of harm to be like what would presently affect someone, and if it's not going to presently affect them, then it wouldn't be any harm, you know. So I don't really know. I think it's pretty simple. It's pretty laid out.
Well, I mean, right, but it does objectively unalive a human being that scientifically begins right at conception. So you are harming that human being regardless if they can perceive it or not, right?
I mean, in your case, that would be harm, as in like I'm violating its future experiences, like love, flourishment, and stuff like that, but not in a sentience circumstance.
Right. No. Yeah. Future experience, deprivation of future experiences, right? Because it's in a state of, we'll call future sentience, and you're also biologically, like scientifically, unaliving a genetically distinct human being in utero, right? You're causing them to no longer exist. You're unaliving them.
For sure.
Right. So, do you see like how that would maybe be an issue, right? Without valuing future sentience, when it's the same human being that's in the process of obtaining what you do value.
I don't really care about past experiences for real until.
Well, it just doesn't have a past experience, right? Like in the sense of within the sentience context, in the first trimester, it doesn't have those, right? Because it doesn't develop sentience until, say, like almost 2/3 through the gestational period.
Yeah.
Right, but okay, so like if I decide to draw my line at say the end of development, or I don't know, like should I be able to unalive anybody under the age of 25? That's when the average
Under the age of
stops
45?
What?
You said under the age of 45?
25.
Should you be able to unalive them?
Right, because that's when development stops, and if I like assign arbitrary value, like let's say, or even puberty, we can use a better example, like say puberty, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how that really correlates, because that person is able to, like, they have these subjective experiences.
Well, right, but but that's your hallmark is subjective experiences. Let's say my hallmark is being able to reproduce and grow to like towards adulthood and be strong. Like let's say that's my subjective line, because regardless, it's objectively a human being on a linear time scale. The only difference is that you're affording moral consideration at certain areas and not in others. So if I do the same thing based on the biological hallmark of puberty, would it be acceptable to unalive somebody who, say, hasn't undergone puberty yet?
No.
Why not?
Because they're sentient.
Well, right, but do you see how assigning arbitrary lines to the same human being on a linear time scale ends up?
Well, I mean, even if I weren't to apply sentience to it, there's just a huge gap between a person at puberty and a person that's fucking like 8 weeks old in utero. I mean, I personally think it's pretty insane. That people hold such a high like golden standard to like a baby in utero.
Well, it's the same person. It's the same person on a linear time scale. The DNA isn't different. The species isn't different. The body isn't different. It's just
I don't doubt that, but a lot of people argue that there's new DNA created at conception, which I'm pretty sure that's like objectively false. I'm pretty sure it's just mom and the dad mixing. A lot of people act like there's like some unique DNA coding. It's really not. I mean, we're all like just created with like a mix of like the mother and the father. It's not like some like sort of shit like we're like some like alien.
Well, when I say unique genetic organism, I'm referring to the fact that each person, as a result of the culmination of DNA between their mother and their father, has their own genetic coding that is not replicated, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is for the National Institute of Health, and if you want, we can look at other sources if you don't like that study. But
well, I'm referring to like a lot of people think that there's like some new DNA created. Like
There is.
I don't think so.
Well, are you not familiar with like epigenetics?
I don't know.
Do you think that like a person is just strictly 50% mom and 50% dad, and that all you are is just like a perfect combination of like everything that your mother is and everything that your father is?
I think that would take up most of it. I mean,
no.
I mean, do you have like a citation to support this? What you're saying?
No.
So why is it the case that like, I don't know, if let's say we could even do, and this has been done, where you have like identical triplets, and if you are to like do a study on their genome, it's not even their genome isn't going to be perfectly identical, that they're going to have variances in their genetic expression, even if they're identical triplets.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess there could be like some sort. I mean, I'm sure there's like some sort of unique like addition into each one of them, but
it's entirely unique. It's entirely unique. You're getting things from mom, you're getting things from dad, but what your genes are expressing and what you are is something that has never existed before and is completely different from just your mother and just your father.
I don't think that could be objectively proven.
Of
I mean,
course
like, I don't know how you could prove how someone's been uniquely created.
You can sequence somebody. You can sequence someone's genes.
Sorry?
You can do genetic sequencing. You can sequence somebody's genes. We've done this.
Yeah, you can test, isolate, etc. Like you can. I mean, this has already been done actually. See, right? So we take a look at the scientific not only studies and consensus, but what is actually currently being done, right? Like in prenatal testing, as well as like what happens after birth. Like the national, the American College of Pediatricians and the National Institute of Health would probably help clarify what the human being is genetically for you.
Well, hypothetically speaking, I'm sure some people would come to a compromise here that like if the world were to like just be completely destroyed, and the previous world there was somebody, yes or no, that would have had like the exact DNA as you in the new world, or like after once the new world's
They
created.
would be a clone then. They would be a clone. Like you can't have the same exact DNA.
It's never been done, to my knowledge. To my knowledge, that's never happened in human history.
Yeah, and in the current life, not for all we know, there could have been like a past life where someone had the exact DNA as you, or in the future it will be.
Wait, don't do that.
Hello,
We
Meatball.
don't have the technology. Wait, in the past, we didn't even have the technology to do that. Like, this is not how it works.
Well, I'm saying just like repeatedly, like darkness. You would think eventually someone would eventually come to like the same DNA like as someone
Have
else.
the same exact DNA as your parents. Again, you'd just be a clone if that was the case.
I'm not sure. I mean, I was just thinking that I think that's something that could be possible.
There's like
I don't think it's impossible.
Logically possible, but not like ontologically, not physically possible.
Yeah, I think that's logically possible. I mean, like I think that would eventually come eventually.
I mean, yeah, it's logically possible for a rock to gain sentience. So what?
I don't know about that one.
What law of logic does that break?
Well, a rock wouldn't have to be sentient. You'd have to have like certain things.
What law of logic would it break? Would it break the law of identity? Or screw the middle? Or non-contradiction? How is it logically impossible for a rock to gain sentience?
It wouldn't have the things necessary for it.
That wouldn't mean it's not logically possible.
So what would that fall under then?
It would be physically impossible, yeah, but it's not logically impossible. It's like just in the case that you just said, like it's not logically impossible for someone to have the same exact DNA. Physically, it's impossible, yeah. You'd just be a clone if you have the same exact DNA. And human clonings, I'm not sure there's ever been a recorded case of that.
Wait, so like identical twins?
They're not clones. They're not exactly the same.
Hi.
Hello.
They're like nearly identical, right?
They're nearly identical, but they're not the same. They're not clones.
Yeah, they're not the same. Yeah.
Yeah, so if we've came that close to that being a thing, then you would think that like cloning like would produce like an organism with the same DNA as another.
Well,
The difference is it's not fully, a clone. They're just similar. You can find similarities in so many people, like doppelgangers, that you can't, 100% replicate somebody's DNA.
Right, and it actually gets, if you look at, like, if you think about mathematically how hard it would be to get every single thing right, like, the chance would be infinitesimal, right? Because you can have, say, like, 99% of the same DNA. I mean, we have, what, 99% of the same DNA as, like, chimpanzees, do we not? On average, like, think about that last fraction of a percent. Like, how much that would change in a human individual.
Probably be a totally different species.
Species, but completely different characteristics, right? But like, say, like a few percent can basically change you very obviously, like almost like a species level.
We're pretty close to bananas too. I think we share. It's like 80 something.
5%.
Yeah, we're pretty
5% bananas.
I searched it up. Apparently, identical twins can have the exact same DNA.
Not necessarily in terms of their genetic expression. And also if you do like the ancestry stuff and you actually try to map, you would expect to see if you're seeing like one of those people, you're breaking down their ancestry, you would expect it to be identical amongst like all of their identical siblings. That's just not true because of how genes are expressed. So even if like the code initially coming from the mom and coming from the dad is the same, like the genetic expression is not necessarily going to be identical. So that's why you have one of the triplets is showing like 94%, Polish, and the other one is like a quarter of a percentage different. It has to do with genetic expression.
Also, do any of them have the exact same voice? You know, the exact same hair? Like,
Once,
100%.
Probably more. I could see that being more possible than like the exact DNA.
real quickly, did we voiceless? Do you know Chase?
No.
What's your name, Lightbringer? Let me know.
I'll
No,
tag you.
yes, I do. Sorry, yeah, I do. I wasn't looking. Yes.
I'll say sorry. I just want to get the age check. No offense, you just sounded really young, so didn't
Yeah,
want
I
to
sound like I'm 13. No, I'm 18. I was born April 1st, 2007.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll DM you, Meatball. If that's cool.
I don't know who Tia is though. We didn't age check that.
Huh?
I don't know who Tia is. What's your age and what's your stance?
Hi, I'm 26 and I'm pro-life.
Oh, W.
Ew, stop it.
No.
No.
Wait, do you hold any exceptions, Tia?
Huh?
Are you holding any exceptions, or are you all the way?
All the way, no exceptions.
Uh-oh.
What if the mother's like gonna die? You know?
Y'all don't know about that one.
Oh my
The baby was born.
What if she dies?
WTF.
What would be the reason the mother would die? Like, what would be the reason mother would die?
Pulmonary embolism.
No, I'm
Pregnancy,
talking to
birth,
Meatball.
you know, if birth is gonna kill her, I'm actually not sure.
Well, technically, we wouldn't need to perform an abortion because there's no medical condition which would necessitate that we preemptively unalive the fetus before removal. Okay, great. Quick question. If it were the case that we're talking like pre-viability.
I'm not pro-choice, don't worry. Like,
what's going on, guys?
No, Meatball. No, Meatball. I don't think they know who you are in terms of like what you're doing.
Nobody knows who I am.
Wait, Meatball, I have a question. Are you pro-life or pro-choice?
No.
I'm pro-choice.
Oh, okay.
I don't suggest debating her unless you
No, I was just asking. I'm not. I do want to debate. I was just asking. No.
I don't
know
suggest
everybody's
that
stance
either.
on here.
You have to know a lot about her stance. It's not going to go too well.
Okay.
and what is so, you know, important or different about her idea of abortion?
Oh, I don't know. I'm an evictionist.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I would love to debate Meatball someday, but I think it would take all day. So it was set aside.
So I run it's a property rights argument. So I think that your body is your property, meaning that you have a legitimate claim to it, and you
Not
have
your
jurisdictional.
Wait, hold on. Let her.
Oh.
Yep. And the child also
wait.
does. You're not allowed to.
Let's talk. Wait, let's take this like piece by piece. So you just like immediately jumped in and said, "Not your property." First of all, what do you think property is?
No, I'm saying that it is
Not
your
you,
property.
Tia.
Your body is your property.
Not
but
you, not you,
it's
Chase. Tia. Tia
Me-
said that's not property. So what's
My
property?
bad, my bad.
Meatball, as much as I disagree and I would love to debate you, I think you're going to tear them up. So I'm going to let you do that because this is going to take a while, isn't it?
I told
No,
you
we'll
guys
see.
not to. Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys, I'm going to save this for another time because I think the conversation has fizzled out for what I was arguing, and Meatball is about to go off. So,
Tia, what do you think property is?
Property is something you own.
What does it mean to own something?
That it's rightfully yours.
Would you say that it's just something you have a legitimate claim to?
Not every property is a claim though. Like not every property is technically yours.
No, I'm not saying that every property is yours. What I'm asking is if something is yours, if something is your property, I'm asking you, do you have a legitimate claim to it?
I know what you mean, but can you be a little more specific? Like I'm not trying to be funny. I like can you just go into depth a little bit more?
I'll DM you, Meatball.
Okay. I'm just
Bye.
saying.
Take care, everybody.
Oh, bye. I'm just saying property is anything you have a legitimate claim to. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Do you agree?
You're right, but I'm asking like what are you asking? Like I know what you're talking about, but I'm saying like question wise, like what do you mean?
Well, we need to get through the semantics because when I said that your body is your property, you said no, it's not. So the way I'm defining property is just anything that you have a legitimate claim to. Do you think you have a legitimate claim to your body?
You do, but it also has standards too.
W. I love that. You have a legitimate claim to your body.
They have a legitimate claim to their body.
Sorry, what?
A fetus, I think, has a legitimate claim to their body.
To whose body?
To their own, the fetus.
Oh, I agree. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fetus's body is its own property too. The
Yep.
fetus is not your property. Your body is your property. The fetus's
Exactly.
body is its own property, but the fetus does not have a legitimate claim to your property, meaning the body of its mother. So what I'm arguing.
Okay, so what about a baby outside the womb that's also using the mother's
Wait,
body?
hold on, guys. You gotta listen to her stance.
Might not exactly, you know, being living inside of it, but it's constantly using this body.
Case, do you know why?
And also,
hold on a second. I'm going to answer your question.
No, I have one more.
Oh
One
well,
more
let's
thing.
address the one that you asked first. So, like outside of the womb, you're asking if this like newborn would have a claim to the body, to the property of its mother. The answer would be yes, because she's consented to guardianship, so she has a duty of care to the child, and the child has positive entitlements.
Okay, and what if she didn't consent to guardianship? Can she kill that child now? Or
She never has the right to unalive. She has the right to remove, and if the only consequence associated with removal is unaliving, it's going to be permissible. So the argument would be, if she hasn't consented to guardianship, she wouldn't have a duty of care. That doesn't mean she can unalive the child. It just means that she can withhold labor and resources.
Okay, I got one more. Okay, so if somebody broke in your house and left a child there, would you be able to throw the child out the window and let them die? Because that would be removing them from your house.
It wouldn't be
That
the
would also
gentlest.
be-
It wouldn't be the gentlest mechanism of removal. So no,
Yes, but it would still be, have the same result. It is removing.
I don't care. You would need to defer back to the gentlest means. So no, it would not be
What is
permissible to use.
gentlest?
Gentlest means just references the mechanism of like recourse that you would be obligated to take insofar as you're experiencing some sort of violation, and you would be justified in resolving it. You ought utilize the gentlest mechanism available to you. So if there's
Can you dumb it down for me? I'm actually really confused.
don't be like overly aggressive. If somebody's like messing with you or violating your property or your rights or something, you can put a stop to it. Just don't be too aggressive. Be
Yeah, and
like
I think it's
minimally
pretty
aggressive.
aggressive to dismember the body of this young child.
Oh,
I
well, we're not
Yeah, I mean-
dismembering anything in the majority of abortions that take place.
But
in-
still, they're dying. They're being thrown into a bucket in a
well,
lot
it's a
of
good
cases.
thing. It's a good thing that we can't, we actually can't invoke a gentlest means principle prior to viability, because there's only going to be one outcome associated with removal. In the case of a
Death
baby,
for this child is that they didn't choose to die. They didn't choose to be on in your property. I guess is
objection relevance.
I go back. I go back to they're simply just existing. I go back to the
Yeah,
child in the house analogy.
relevance. Yeah,
And-
relevance.
Okay, what I'm talking about is this child inside the house. They are, violating basically your right to property. But
Well,
you
they're not
can't
violating my
necessarily-
right. No, they're not violating my rights, because that is not a moral agent. That's a moral patient. Non-volitional moral patients can't violate your rights or infringe upon your rights, but they can exist on a property that they don't have a claim to, and it would be permissible for you to evict them.
Okay, yeah. So why do they have this moral, place on the house, but they don't have one in your body?
What do you? No, because in the child in the house, we can invoke a gentlest means principle. Prior to
And-
viability,
and what
there
would-
is.
what would the solution to that be?
Listen. Gentlest means is only applicable when there are a number of like mechanisms that you could utilize in order to resolve the violation.
Okay.
Hold on. Prior to viability, there is only one outcome associated with resolving the violation. Therefore, we can't use the gentlest means principle.
And what is the one, outcome?
Unaliving.
Yeah, and wouldn't that be morally wrong to do?
No, she's justified in actualizing her right to property. Why do you think the fetus has an entitlement to her property?
Because they're simply just. I'm not saying that she has, right to her property. I'm saying being a mother means you allow, you have to take care of this child. I think that's just like.
Well, if you consent,
the baby.
yeah,
in
if
the
you
house
consent to
analogy,
guardianship, you have a duty.
You
of
just
care.
keep sidestepping and using this whole debate jargon. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying-
not at all. I'm telling you that you
can I
only have
please not be uninterrupted? Is that if your
Well,
child is just placed,
you're
in
just
your
like
house-
steamrolling, and I'm telling you, you only have a duty of care if you can establish that an obligation exists. Give an argument.
And what does that mean? Like, this seems so subjective. This doesn't seem like it's based in reality at all. Like,
Obligations are predicated upon either compensatory mechanisms or contracts.
can you please say that in normal English and not debate jargon? It's really confusing me.
Okay, so an obligation is something that you must do.
Yeah, I know what an obligation is.
Okay, so something that justifies an obligation or would like increase the probability of this proposition being true would be the presence of one or two things. Either you agreed to do this, like you consented to do this, or we recognize that you have a duty to compensate somebody for something because you've deprived somebody of something. So outside of either like contracts or again like a case where you've taken something from someone, so now you have a duty to like compensate them, obligations don't exist.
Exactly. This seems like it fits the baby in the house analogy perfectly.
Oh,
It's
so
the-
so let's go
Your
through your
right,
analogy.
your right to property. They have no consent over the child being there. They didn't choose for that. They didn't say yes or no. That child is being placed there against their will. And I would say that they have an obligation to temporarily take care of that child until they can find help to somebody to actually take care of the child.
Okay, so observing the conditions for an obligation Are either of those present in the case that somebody else puts a baby on my couch?
Can you dumb it down again, please? I'm
So
really
one is going to be like a contractual agreement. So like if I enter into like a contract with you, or I give consent for something, you know, that would be fine to substantiate an obligation in that way. Or if I like deprive you of something, I harm you in some way, I would be obligated to compensate you for the damage I've done. So did I agree to care for this child that somebody else left in my house?
Absolutely not. That's the
No.
whole point of the analogy.
Okay,
So would
well,
you
hold
be
on.
able to kill them?
So listen. So you're right.
I'm not
did
getting a clear answer, and you're
No, it
acting
would not
like,
be No, it would not be permissible to unalive them. But
Yes.
so
Okay.
so
Why is that? Why is that? My whole question, and please answer this without debate.
because there are gentler mechanisms available to
Yes. And
resolve.
what are these gentler mechanisms?
You open your door and you gently place the child off of your property. You
Mhm.
you
And
phone
if you let that happen,
hold on. You call the police. I don't know. There are like a million other things you could do before you unalive them. The only thing you have the right to do is remove them.
exactly. That is what I'm saying, is that you cannot remove them, because if they're placed on the street without your care, without your immediate care, that could span days. Sometimes the police are not that responsive.
It doesn't
In this
matter.
case,
Just
it doesn't
because
matter. So yeah, you can just leave them out with no responsibility. You can place them right
You're-
down right there and let them die, because there's a possibility that they
Hold
might
on.
starve to death, that
Hold
they
on.
might die of
Listen,
thirst.
listen. What I'm trying to tell you is that no obligation exists for me as the property owner to have to let this child stay on my property.
I mean, yeah, putting it on out of your doorstep is technically still on your property.
Well, no, we could just
So
say
that
I've
it would be-
removed it
if
from
it would-
I've removed it from the property line. So my
No, the
property
property
line,
line goes out to the street, not
right.
not
So then
to
I
the
have
road.
So then it's gonna be permissible for me to take this child and put
Yes,
them
and
like
putting
off
it
the
at
property.
risk would be so immoral and so illegal that it might get run over.
Well, I
It
don't
is-
first of all, I don't care what the law currently says. I care about what the law ought be. And second of all, I'm not
I
making,
totally
hold on.
agree with that. I
And second of all,
hate when
I'm
people
not
do
making
that.
a claim that it would be virtuous to do this. I'm asking you, should you be legally compelled to let the child stay? And if the answer is yes, you need to establish why this obligation exists. Clearly, I haven't consented to this. And obviously, I'm not responsible for placing this child into a state of dependency. So why am I obligated?
Wait,
Why
so
are
why
you
are you
obligated? Because that child did not choose to be there. The child has done nothing wrong. Without any help, without this temporary care, they will cease to exist. And I think that is that is very selfish from your own point of view to say that.
I agree
Violence-
it's selfish.
violence
You shouldn't
wise,
do that, but
it really
you
won't hurt me as much as the murder and the death that this child is going to go through. This is
not
a really
not going to be a
emotional thing.
schmurder. Not going to be a schmurder if it's justified. But hey, Chase, real
Oh,
quick,
it's
I
not
need
justified. I'm not saying
Chase,
it's
Chase,
justified.
Chase, really quickly.
Suicide is-
Chase, I need a kidney, and you're the only match. And if you don't give me one of your kidneys, I'm going to unalive. Should you be legally compelled to give me one of your kidneys?
Oh no! My first question is: this realistic in
Oh,
the
just
real
answer that
world?
one, please. Please,
No,
just
no,
answer
because
that
I
one.
need to first say:
No,
is
we're
this
going to dodge.
possible?
We're going to pivot
Is
away.
this possible? Is this realistic in the real world?
Absolutely, it is 100%. Yep, there are thousands of people on donor registries who are waiting, like desperately waiting
Not
for
a single
organs.
other person in the world. Not one.
Not only it could be the case that they have a very rare blood type you happen to match, or it could just be the case that because of your proximity to the patient, you're the only one who's a match who could get there in time.
Oh, I'm the only one that could get there in time. Out of the own kindness, out of my heart, and I would say my moral obligation. Yes, I would give you.
Oh,
the
that wasn't my question. I didn't ask if it would be virtuous. I asked, should you be legally compelled to give me your kidney? Because without it, I'm going to unalive.
Sure, I'd be fine
You
with
think
that.
you should be okay?
Legally compelled? Yes.
So
Because
you
I-
think?
first of all, this-
hold
this
on a
doesn't even
second.
seem
Hold on. You're
realistic
go. You're
because-
just. You need to stop.
No, no,
assuming
no.
we're
First,
going to
because
get
I
through.
asked you a
Hold
question
on.
if this is
Hold on.
realistic or not, and you
Hold
just gave
on.
me this
It's
bullshit
totally
answer.
well. Okay,
It's not
first-
even realistic.
So we need to do this. So first of all, the reductio ad absurdum doesn't need to be realistic. It just needs to be like logically coherent, and it needs to test the principle that's being invoked. So it doesn't need to be realistic necessarily. It just needs to not break any laws of logic or anything like that. So you're saying that you think that the government should be able to step in and force you to give an organ to a stranger. Oh, and there he goes.
Meatball, out of curiosity, because I'm just trying to understand your sense. So, or your stance. So why are you not like morally obligated to care for the child?
Well, I think like you'd be morally obligated, but you shouldn't be legally compelled.
Wait, I don't understand then. So like you putting the baby out on the porch, what was that? I didn't catch it.
Oh, just
Where-
like that,
where'd he
like
go?
somebody he ran. So somebody like breaks into your house and like leaves a baby like on your couch. Are you obligated to let them stay, or would it be permissible to like put them off your property?
And what was your answer for that?
It would be virtuous to let them stay, but you shouldn't be legally compelled to let them stay.
Oh my God, that's insane. Wait.
Oh, well, let's talk about it. Why do you think that this random child isn't... Wait, why is this random child entitled to my property?
Wait, that was the same thing I heard all day.
Wait, I love that you think that. Now let's get to like a defense of the counter. So,
Hello?
Hold on.
That's like, wait, because I just want to compare this. That's like you saying you're not obligated to like care for a cryptically pregnant born child.
well,
Yeah, right.
we can get to that one in a second. So you just laughed. So clearly you think the view is absurd. So I'd like to hear you defend the counter view. So
Whoa,
explain to
whoa,
me
whoa.
why this child would be entitled to use of my property.
I think a child should be like be what was the word I was looking for? I think a child should have to be like taken care of by anyone because like regardless of how it was conceived, this child has
Hi.
just like what has this unique DNA. You remember?
Well, wait a second. I'm
DNA.
so sorry. You don't believe in equal rights? You believe in special rights for children?
Wait. Just to clarify here, when did I say that?
You said that we should observe like a special degree of care when it comes to children, to babies.
I'm gonna have to conclude this until after you guys. So hold this thought. Like, go. What is your age? Your stance?
2006, July 3rd. And I do not agree with this prompt.
So you're pro-choice.
Yes, I'm pro-choice.
Oh, let me.
Wait, you said July of what year?
What?
What? July of-
3rd, 2006.
26. Okay.
Oh. Wait,
Let me
Tia, you
talk
said
to
you wanted
her.
to speak to her? Yeah.
Yes, I want to talk to Google. Whatever.
All right,
I don't know how to say it. Okay, so you said you don't agree with the prompt, right? So how do you feel
Yes.
about women? How do you feel about women who use abortion as a form of birth control?
Honestly, if they are like having sex, like consent to being like having sex and stuff, but like they don't want to be pregnant, then and they don't expect to get if they don't expect to get pregnant, then okay, sure. But if they're using it as like birth control, like okay, like oh, I don't care if I get pregnant, I can just abort it, then yeah, that's wrong. But like this prompt, if you don't want a baby, keep your legs closed, is like no, I don't agree with that at all.
Okay, but listen to what you just said though. You just said they shouldn't be getting abortion. If they don't want an abortion, they shouldn't be having sex. So why do you disagree with that? You just
They
agree.
can have sex as much as they want, but like just like okay, so what do you mean like as birth control?
So women who just like you obviously know what a hoe is. You're old enough to know. Just keep on around, keep having sex, keep having babies.
Know what a hoe is.
Okay, they keep on around having sex, having babies. All of it, then they have abortion, at least 3 or 4 abortions, and then they keep doing it. Why is that okay?
3 to 4.
It's common
Because-
sense. You're an adult.
Because it's their body and they should be able to choose what they do with it. And if they don't want to have a baby and they don't want to be pregnant, then okay, get an abortion because it's your body. You can do what you want with your body. Yeah, your body.
You can do what you want, but you also have a choice to keep your legs closed. You can do what you want, but then when it comes to taking care of responsibilities, then you want to get an abortion. You're grown enough to have sex. You should be grown enough to take responsibility. Period. So I'm
Hey Gugu, is your
Well, it's also
your view
has to do
based
with
off
bodily
of
autonomy and personal freedom. And like the
So-
foundation of modern healthcare ethics is the principle that every person has the right to make decisions about their body.
Well, you're asserting that to be. But
Well, aside from this, so meanwhile, you don't think like there's like any form of like since
wait, hold on. Well, I'll conclude that. We will continue that conversation after.
all right, my bad.
But yeah, well, Tia can continue the conversation. Go.
okay. So what was the last thing you were saying, Google? I don't know if I'm saying your username right.
It's go, but I don't want to correct people. But yeah, bodily. I was saying bodily autonomy and personal freedom because the foundation of modern healthcare ethics is the principle that every person has the right to make decisions about their own body. And forcing someone to remain pregnant against their will removes their bodily autonomy in a way no other medical situation would.
Okay, so can you take drugs and drink while you're pregnant, or is there consequences to that?
You take what?
Can you
Sorry.
take drugs and drink while you're pregnant, or is there consequences to that?
Try to censor that word, please. Try to say shrugs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you take shrugs and alcohol while you're pregnant, or is there consequences to that?
There are consequences, but you can do with what you please with your body. So if you want to do that, yes, okay, do that.
But is it okay though? Can you get on a roller coaster while you're pregnant?
No, that would probably lead in
Right. So you're
immediate
saying
death
women
of
can
the
do
baby.
what they want, but there are limits to what you can do when you're pregnant. You can't just do you can't get on a roller coaster. You can't go skydiving. Like,
Even though there are limits, a woman should be able to do what they want with their body. So if you want to get on a roller coaster while you're... I'm sorry, my internet's terrible right now, so you keep glitching out.
oh wait, did you hear what I said? I didn't
No.
hear. What was the last thing I heard? Roller coaster. What did you say?
She said get on a roller coaster if you
I
want.
said, because it's their body, and if they want to get on a roller coaster while pregnant, okay, fine, get on a roller coaster while you're pregnant.
So you wouldn't tell anybody no. So you just say, okay, let's go party 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's go take some alcohol. Let's do that. Like, it's okay to just go buck wild and treat the baby like it's a toy, like it's just an object. Like, it means nothing to you.
Well, there are some places pregnant women wouldn't be allowed, but like if they were allowed, sure. And they want to do it, sure, go do it.
So is the baby a toy? I'm confused.
No, the baby's not a toy, but it's in the mother's body, and if
So
the
what
mother
is it
wants to
then?
do all that stuff with her body, then okay, do it.
You're missing the point. So what is it? If you feel like you can just treat the baby any kind of way, what is it then? Is it a stuffed animal?
It's a fetus.
No,
It's not
okay.
a baby.
Okay,
Yet.
so at 9 months, what is it then?
Do you mean in 9 months as in the birthday?
Yeah, as in
or like just 9 months?
What is it at 9 months?
Wait, no, I'm asking a question. Like at 9 months, as in like the birthday, or 9 months, as in just 9 months?
As in just 9 months, and you wrote in the womb. What is it at 9 months in the womb? Hello.
It's still a fetus because it hasn't come out yet. It's not a
So
baby
what
yet.
is it when it comes out? What is it when the
I
baby?
said it's a fetus and it's not a baby yet.
What is it when it comes out of the woman's vagina?
And when it comes, then it's a baby.
So when does that fetus or whatever you call it become a baby? Does it just magic? Is it just a magic trick? Does it just become a baby?
It becomes a baby up until your water breaks.
But I just asked you that. What is it at 9 months? I just asked you that. You said it can't just be. It's either a fetus or a baby. Which one is it?
At 9 months, it's a fetus up until your water breaks. Until your water breaks, yeah, that's a fetus.
So when you go to a party, do they say a fetus shower or a baby shower? Is it a fetus shower?
A baby shower.
It's a baby shower, so that means it's a baby. So does that baby not have rights? It's a baby in your womb.
They call it a baby, but it's just a fetus.
But how does a fetus shower make sense? It's a baby shower for a reason, which means it's a baby, which means that baby has rights.
They call it a baby shower because that's what people call a baby, but like it's not a baby yet, it's a fetus.
I have a question, Gogo. What do
Wait,
they
hold on,
say?
hold on.
It's not.
Wait, hold on.
It's come out of the mother's vagina.
Wait, hold on. Before I continue, what's
Sorry.
your age and what's your stance?
I'm 32, and my stance is I think that abortion at all stages is wrong.
Probably you, but you can answer your question.
One thing I wanted to ask, Gogo, is when someone goes through the terrible process of a miscarriage, what do they say? What's the verbiage they use? They say they miscarried what? Their fetus?
They miscarried their child. They lost their child.
Right, their baby. So I think that your
Just a
argument.
child.
No, it's pretty widespread that they say I miscarried my baby. And the reason that I bring that up is because I think that your argument is disingenuous to justify irresponsible actions. And I think that's what Tia was getting on, is the fact that there's no responsibility given. And the
Well,
problem is that in modern medicine as well as modern culture, I don't believe that is a measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. You're making the same arguments that they made for slavery. You're saying that this is my possession, so I can do whatever I want to it.
oh,
Yeah, there's a reason why
Richard's
these
is
laws
talking.
in place.
I think you're cutting in and
Well,
out, Gogo.
also mental and emotional well-being. Carrying an unwanted pregnancy can cause profound psychological effects, especially for survivors of sexual violence and those in abusive relationships,
Okay,
or
you're
those facing
you're
severe life
jumping
instability.
into less than a 1 percentile, and you're worried about the mental health and the actual health of something, and you're justifying it by unaliving a child that is in the womb, or forcing miscarriage, if you want to put it that way. If the only time that we can call it a baby is when it's a miscarriage, but you're forcing the miscarriage, then your justification is that, you know, someone might have anxiety from having a child because they're creating a human being inside of themselves. Which, yeah, that's a
They get
stressful.
depressed after because
That's a stressful situation. But I don't think that justifies unaliving somebody just because stressful things happen due to your responsibilities. You have the choice to close your legs, just like the post says here.
Exactly.
well, abortion is also healthcare.
How? No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
No, it's not. Can I say
Not
Yeah,
by
abortion
any
is also
definition.
healthcare
Can I?
too.
Nope. I got
Go
something
ahead.
to say. I got something to say about that. It's not. I'm so sorry to cut
Yeah,
you off, but I
no,
hate when.
healthcare.
No, it's not. Because if it's healthcare, why do you have to pay for it?
Well, I say it's healthcare because
Wait,
I
what?
say it's healthcare because
Hold on, Gugu,
healthcare
hold
is
on. Gugu, just 1 second. Tia, did you just say if it's healthcare, why do you have to pay for it?
Why do you have to give the government money for your abortion? That's
Wait,
not
do you
healthcare.
you have
do
to
you
give
think
the
Shouldn't it be
government money
paid
for
for already?
Guys,
everything.
guys,
wait,
You have
hold
to
on.
give the
Just hold
government
on.
everything.
Hold on. I will say the burden of proof would be on her to prove that it is healthcare first.
What's up, protect? That's fine. I just heard like the stupidest
Yes,
thing I've ever heard in my life.
yes,
Well,
Like,
let's prove
hold
that.
on, Court. It wouldn't be necessarily
Yeah,
irrelevant if she said healthcare was a right. Now, I do agree. If healthcare was a right, she would technically have
can
a
I
point.
prove why it's healthcare?
Okay, yes.
well, I don't really care about the whole is it
Yes,
healthcare,
can
but
I?
it's just
Yeah,
the
can I
fact
prove
that
healthcare?
Can you define what healthcare is?
that Tia said if it's
Yeah,
healthcare, why do you
healthcare
have to pay
is
for
about
it?
preventing ill.
You do have to
Hold
pay
on,
for it.
guys. This is important because she did claim that it was healthcare first. So,
Yeah, but like healthcare is about preventing illness, treating medical conditions, and promoting overall well-being. Be life-saving. It treats the medical condition, pregnancy, when it poses harm or is unwanted, and it supports the patient's physical, mental, and social health.
Abortion is a medical condition? Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I'm gonna look up the stats on like maybe the depression rate on those that have gone through.
I
Are
didn't
you
know what
allowed to
abortion
say
was.
AB anymore? Like,
yeah.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to say the word. I just remembered. But if you go through that, there's so many people that I know personally in my life that it created like serious depression afterwards, and that's something that nobody talks about. All they talk about is the justification for it prior. There's no aftercare for this.
Yeah,
So it's like,
it's postpartum depression after birth, and it's literally the worst
I'm not
thing to go through. It
talking
can
about.
last up to
I'm not
3-4
talking.
years.
I'm not talking about birth, Gogo. I'm talking about an abortion. I'm talking about the depression that happens afterwards. There's no post care for it. They just zip you up and then send you on home.
Well, I think what she's doing is she's comparing this to birth, saying that birth has the same consequences.
Oh well, I would say that birth is much more has a lot more satisfaction. Have you ever met a mother that's like, man, I didn't want this child? Like, it happens very rarely, and usually they have mental issues prior. Every mother that I know is beyond blessed to have a child, and they're stoked about having a child, and it brings a lot of joy.
Well,
and
that's
they're a
usually,
complete
I would
liability.
argue that's just because they built a bond or connection with this baby.
All right, we're kind of moving away from the point.
No.
Well, also,
I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even say that they create a bond. It's instantaneous. It's immediate. they have this
Yeah,
love for this
that's
thing that they don't
subjective.
even know.
All
It's
right, we're
nuts.
kind of.
How many
Well,
people do
we're
you talk
also
to, bro? Sorry, I
Hey
don't mean to
guys,
derail you.
we are
What's up?
kind of moving away from our point. She did make her argument for why it's healthcare, but you can combat that, Tia, if you want.
Okay, so you said it's a part of an illness, right? Is that what you said? Like if that like the definition you were looking up?
looking up. I have notes that I've written myself.
Well, my bad. I thought you were looking it up. But did you say it was something about like an illness or something?
Yes, because pregnancy can cause serious and sometimes life-threatening health complications such as severe hemorrhage and organ damage. And abortion may be the only medical intervention that can save or protect the patient's life or long-term health in these cases.
So I have a question for you. Why can't she just go see her primary care doctor? Why can't her doctor just treat her? It may not be her. It may just be the baby. Why can't she just go see her primary care doctor?
Wait, I mean,
Okay, if it's just
yeah, sorry, you guys continue. I don't want to interrupt.
My bad. Go
okay.
ahead.
I mean, the thing is that the hemorrhaging
Okay.
you said, like these
Well,
things
if
that you
it's just the baby, it really matters. It really matters, like what's wrong with the baby.
Right. So how would you know what's wrong with the baby if you don't go see your doctor? Like y'all saying, oh, abortion is the way out. But how do you know what's wrong with your baby or you if you don't go to the doctor? That's what doctors are there for.
Okay, fine. You see a baby and you figure out what's wrong with. I mean, sorry, I have a stutter. You see a doctor and you figure out what's wrong with the baby. Then what?
Right.
What's wrong with the baby?
Exactly. So you never know what's going on. So instead of oh, I'm gonna die or I'm gonna get sick, why go get an abortion? That's not the only way out. You don't even know what it is. Oh, a woman could die from this. How
If
could a
it
woman?
were, well, this is my opinion. If it were between my life and my child and my stomach's life, I'd choose my life because I'd say that because I can have another child, but that child cannot have another mother.
Did you really just say your stomach?
Well, either way, you're missing the points that you do realize you can also die from abortion as well, right?
You're risking infertility, also permanent damage to your uterus. There's a lot of different plethora of things when you get an abortion.
Yes.
So it really matters how high risk it is.
No, it's very high risk. They just don't tell you.
I mean,
Every
you
single
need
time.
like if you're gonna make the claim that abortion is safer than live birth, you're gonna have to need empirical data for this claim. So, like,
Yeah, to be fair here, I do think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure abortion is safer than birth. I mean, not to like kind of help in any sort of way, but
Yeah, it is because birth can there are a lot of problems with birth. Like it could tear your uterus, and it can cause a lot of blood loss. Birth can cause a
abortion
lot
can
of
do these things
stuff.
as well. Again, so if you're making the claim that like abortion is safer, you're gonna have to need empirical data to support this claim.
Right, like real quick, first of all, unaliving for pregnancy is 0.1% chance of you actually unaliving. And this statistic gets lower every year. Last year alone was 700. This year could be 600. So I don't understand where you're getting this statistic that pregnancy is a lot very high risk. So
On statistics, not
Well,
to derail
denying
or
abortion
anything.
care can
Go.
lead to preventable injuries, disabilities, and deaths,
no,
making
real
it a
quick,
critical part
that's
of-
not true. That is not fucking true whatsoever.
And that wasn't even the initial argument. One of the primary. Okay, that's fine. One of the primary arguments that you were yielding for abortion was depression, but it looks like post-abortion you're at 37% higher risk of depression. So that's like almost 4 in 10. Like that's a lot more of those that deal with actual consistent depression versus those that are dealing with postpartum.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would just say that first and foremost, the argument that you had initially was if you want to go do shrugs or, drink or do whatever you want to do, You can go ride a roller coaster. That's totally fine. I don't think that you actually care about the safety. Again, I think that you care about the irresponsibility and being able to have that irresponsibility instead of just closing your damn legs. And the same thing with men. Men are the ones that are prime. I believe that it was 6 and 10
Okay,
men
so
out of 6 and
closing
10 men.
legs.
Yeah, 6 out of 10 men that have a spout, like a person, a significant other
Can
that
you
goes
have
through
Adam?
with it. They don't want them to, but they don't have a say in it.
RWA, why are you
Yeah,
presupposing? And maybe I kind of came in like I wasn't really paying attention. But what are you
presupposing
saying?
what?
Well, are you presupposing that like the mother has an obligation to sustain pregnancy if she engaged in consensual sex?
Yeah, just like the man does, and I have even a higher burden on the man, in my personal opinion.
Well, let's
If
just
you're
talk
asking
about
for
the
my
woman's
opinion,
obligation. Yeah, let's just talk about the
Hold
woman's
on. We can be
obligation.
going into his stance, but like we can do that after. But, like I don't
Well, I
mind.
just think okay, that's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, we want to get back to her points. This is kind
yeah.
of all over the place.
Back to the statistics. The reason that you initially brought that up was the depression aspect. But you're looking at nearly a 40% higher risk of depression, and that's anyone that deals with this, which is, I believe, about 1/3 of women in the U.S. I think that it's very profitable for big pharma to be able to have a lot more people to put on depression pills. And so, yeah, I think that your stats on from different fields will. Your mic isn't quite working, Go. Sorry. You're muted.
I think it's her signal or something.
Yeah, it sucks because she's getting pretty good every other. I think she's on. You there, Go?
Do not have the word DJ like closed because they.
Oh, sorry. Like my mic isn't.
Yeah, you have bars. You have a
Hear
lot
me?
of bars.
You have like one bar, man. Where are you at?
I can hear you better now. What did you just say?
I'm like in the country, like New Kent.
Me too.
Okay.
I feel that.
You keep cutting out.
I'm like in the country, like in Kent. So
That's fine.
yeah, you
You're
guys keep
good
cutting
now.
out too. Like you can't barely hear.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
can
because
you
should
hear
you're
me?
probably just leave.
Yeah, I think you should. Bye.
I mean, you could drop down and try to join back up and see if that does anything. But you can continue your conversation with Sky and Meatball, or you can, ask RWA his stance. But, so if she joins back up, you guys can continue the conversation.
Cool.
Um,
What's up,
yeah,
Sky?
go ahead, man.
No, I guess I was one thing that Meatball brought up that I think is an important factor, and it's not just my opinion, but it's I believe that the burden on a family unit, which would be the parents of a child, it should be a shared burden. And a lot of the times, the birth process is definitely on the women, but as far as the financial obligation, it's almost always on the men. And so I guess that would be where I could start like an argument on this part is like, because typically it's like, oh, it's all on the woman, except for when they do have a child, then it's all on the man, and there's no.
It sounds like probably we should address like some sufficient conditions for an obligation, because if you're saying like a mother has an obligation to sustain pregnancy, a father is going to have certain other obligations as it involves the child. Like, let's just get like an exhaustive list of like sufficient conditions for an obligation. Not you, muffins. Not you, muffins.
Wait, hold on. We're gonna have to like pause this. So, Callie, baby, what is your agent stance?
I'm 28.
Are you pro-life or pro-choice?
Pro-choice.
Anybody want to talk to her?
Yeah.
Well,
Why
can
are
I?
you pro-choice? I
God
guess.
damn it! Can I talk? When do I?
Yeah, let Meatball.
Sorry, Meatball.
I just want to talk to RWA for a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, like, if you could give me some sufficient conditions that would justify an obligation.
Yeah, I think the man, his obligation is to provide and to protect. And
Oh
I
no, I'm not
believe that-
asking. No, I just mean obligations in general, and then we can see if it's appropriate to apply that standard to pregnancy or like what mother or father would have to do. Obligations in general. Give me some sufficient conditions.
Can you give me an example? Because I said financial obligations.
Well, no, like that would be a type of obligation, but what would justify an obligation? Like an example could be like,
Oh, an action. So basically, the consensual aspect of schmex, right?
okay,
Like,
okay, so hold on. So consent or contractual agreement. So that's one sufficient condition. Are there any
yep.
others?
Well, consent, I think, is the primary thing. I mean, obviously, it's one of those things. And honestly, even without consent, I don't think that the child has any sort of consent. And so if
Can
we're
you
just
give me a
extracting this
definition?
to
Let's
be,
get like a definition of consent. What do you think consent is?
Guys, I'm gonna have to conclude this
this
until
is
after.
mind blowing.
We're gonna have to
Go ahead.
conclude this until after. Did you say you want to speak to Cali Baby RWA?
Yeah, absolutely. Callie, you said that you're pro-choice. What kind of led you to that decision?
I mean, I just respect the choices of like living, breathing women or people who can have babies. But also, like, I came on here mostly just to talk about the prompt. It says, "Don't want a baby, keep your legs closed," and it has like a picture of some women's legs. And I think the prompt kind of takes away from the man's responsibilities of creating a baby or
And
creating.
also that some of the best positions do involve closed legs. We're being completely
I
honest.
guess that's the conversation for another day. But I mean, it's not. I mean, the prompt refers specifically to women. It doesn't mean it doesn't apply to men either. It
I
just
mean, but it says keep your legs closed. Like, how often?
Yeah, well,
like,
because
you know what you mean when you say keep your
Yeah,
legs closed.
right,
It's
but
addressing women, right?
right,
Yep.
specifically. But
Is your prompt addressing women?
right. It refers to women specifically, but doesn't mean only women. Right. It just refers to women specifically.
So, should maybe if you meant don't have sex, you should have said keep your legs closed and keep it in your pants?
I mean,
Or
I have
were
a prompt.
you?
I mean, I have a prompt specifically regarding to men.
Or are you like is your prompt saying don't have sex if you're a woman or don't have sex ever unless you want a baby regardless of your gender or sex?
Sure.
I would say that women definitely hold the keys to the bedroom, where the men hold the keys to commitments.
I wasn't
As far as,
asking you.
like,
I was asking the.
Hey, don't get
he
rude
answered
now.
your question like 3 times. So do you want him to answer your question again? He literally just did 3 times. Did you hear him?
Why do you have Eleven's voice?
I know, that's what I was saying. No, he sounds like Link a little bit.
I can kind of recognize
He
that.
does sound a little bit like Link, but he sounds.
You just sound condescending to me. But anyways, I was talking to the.
So yeah,
Based
if
on
you want to
what-
explain it
Yeah,
again in
Callie
a better
baby,
way,
define-
Protect, she doesn't
define
understand
condescending.
it.
I mean, I have multiple prompts referring specifically to men. Like it doesn't matter. Like
Okay, so why did
they're
you
both-
choose to put the one up that's specifically speaking to women?
Somebody could get you up here. My gosh.
I want to talk about consent.
I mean, we'll get to that after, but because I wanted to, I've chosen many prompts.
Yeah,
This
but
is
why
all
did you
Do you
choose
not
it,
think
Protect?
it's-
Why did
do you
you
not-
choose it, really?
Like, do you have like an actual argument or not?
Yeah, I'm
What
saying.
are we doing
do you
here?
not see, okay, RWA has a problem with condescension and interrupting. Anyways, do you not see it as problematic to continue this narrative that it is on women or people who can have babies to put it on them, on their as their responsibility?
Can I answer that?
Sure.
You, do you think a woman has a responsibility for her child?
Can you? What do you
So
mean?
I don't think she heard my prompt my question when I was talking to the other girl. But if a woman has sex and have a baby, is she obligated to take responsibility for that child?
Not unless she's consented to guardianship.
All right.
Yeah, no, not unless she wants to keep it.
What?
Not unless she consents to guardianship. Can you
Yeah,
tell
not
me a
unless
little
she
more
wants to
about that?
keep it.
You do realize that whether you get an abortion or not, you're still a mother. You do realize that, right?
No, if I ever got pregnant and got an abortion, I would never consider myself a mother.
But that baby had your DNA. That does make you a mother.
It's not a baby; it's a clump of cells.
When does it become a baby?
You were about to say
what
fetus.
species? What species is that?
When does it become a baby?
I don't care what. When I give birth to it.
What
Give
was
me
it
a
before?
break.
Who decides that?
Clump of cells.
When does it become a baby?
When it's out of my womb.
So there's a magician there? It just becomes a baby out of nowhere?
No,
So before you
my
give birth,
body
it's
would
not a
have to
human being.
create it to become a baby.
So when did a clump of cells come into the vocabulary? Did you not do biology in high school?
I called it a clump of cells.
You called it that, but there's biology called it that.
I don't care. It's a clump of cells.
Hey,
They're also a clump of cells.
Again,
That we shouldn't. I don't think that we need to go down like the clump of
We
cells.
kinda do.
I'm absolutely pro-choice. I am so pro-abortion,
So,
and I will say
great.
this till I die.
Did you know that you don't need to devalue the life in the womb to be pro-choice?
I don't
Have you
care. Like, I
had
don't care.
abortions?
I value life walking on this fucking earth. Sorry if I'm not allowed to cuss.
What if somebody doesn't have legs? Do you not value them?
Okay, you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
That's a great
So
point,
would
though.
you
No,
go
we
to a
don't.
pregnant
With
woman
the
and
words
pull out
you're
a
saying, we
gun
don't
on
know
her?
what you mean.
Okay,
Guys,
a baby doesn't know how to walk, but I can still consider it something that's walking on this earth.
Do you
It's
have a
out here.
cutoff? Wait, I want to do this. So what's the cutoff for abortions?
Until they're out of the womb.
Oh, so all 9 months. So a day before she goes into labor, it's going to be permissible for her to unalive the child, in your view?
Yep.
Okay, great. So what is it about being out of the womb that now makes this entity worthy of moral consideration?
Because that's murder.
Oh, I didn't ask you to tell me that it's an unjustified unaliving.
Didn't
Presumably
say that word on here.
you hold that view outside of the womb. I'm asking you for the morally relevant distinction between one day before birth and one day after birth. What's the distinction there that's going to be like morally significant?
It's out of the womb.
Okay, that would be a descriptive distinction. I'm looking for a morally relevant one. What is it about being out of the womb that makes it worthy of moral
Do
consideration?
you know they can also take the baby out of the womb without a woman giving birth?
Wait, hold on. Let's address their point. Hold on.
Okay, so like 24 hours prior, you can just like unalive it, and then once it touches the air, you can't. So like, why?
How often does that happen? Can I ask you?
To answer the question, I don't see why the matter matters.
I mean, we can like pull up the story of the woman who like shoved a letter opener into the soft spot of her like crowning fetus's skull, if you want to do that. But real quick, just trying to understand the difference between in womb and out of womb as it pertains to moral consideration. Go ahead.
I guess I don't care. I just care about the woman's right
You don't
to
care
choose.
about
Okay,
anyone
so
but
so
yourself?
so do you know what they say about claims made without evidence?
What?
They can
What's
be
that?
just as easily dismissed without evidence. So if your argument consists of "I just don't care," it's just my opinion. We have no reason to listen to you, and it's just not going to be like a productive discussion moving forward. Come up with an argument.
An argument for why I support the woman.
No, an argument for why
In
you think
birth?
it's why you think it's
You're
morally
against the
permissible to
child.
unalive the child one day before it's born.
Because I care more about the woman with a life than
The child is also
the
a woman.
inside of a baby.
Hold on,
Wait,
Inside
I'm
of
very
a
What if the
woman.
confused. You
child
said
is
the
a
woman
woman?
with a life. I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean by that?
You really don't want to know what I mean by that?
Well, the
What if the
fetus has a
child is
life.
a woman?
Hold on a
Wait,
second.
hold on.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on.
hold on. The fetus is alive. Are you saying it's not?
Yeah.
You're saying it's not living? Okay, great. So there are 3 states of being. You can be living, dead, or inanimate. Which is it?
It can't live without anything.
Well,
Like,
wait a
it
second.
can't live without the woman supporting it.
Wait, that's not
It can't
true.
live without modern
That's
medicine.
that's
The
not
geologic are
true.
people in a
I-
color.
I'm,
Hold
I'm
on. Wait.
listing things.
Okay,
I'm
you
saying
said
can't
you said
live
all the way.
without.
Hold on a second. You said a day before delivery. So
Okay,
obviously,
you keep interrupting
so
me, but you're gonna yell. Hold on a
so
second.
viability is going
You
to
keep
be
interrupting me,
months.
but you're gonna yell. Hold on a
So
second.
viability is going to be months
All
prior
right.
to that point.
You're just gonna interrupt me. That's
So
fine.
I asked you a question. You didn't engage. The question was
Because you interrupted me.
you responded with something
She
that didn't answer my
interrupted her.
question.
You didn't
Is
let
it
me finish.
is it living, dead, or inanimate? Go ahead.
Is it living, dead, or inanimate?
Yeah, one day
It's
before
living.
birth. Okay, great. Well, I asked you if it was living. You said no, so you concede that it is living. So you said you
Okay.
value the life of the mother over the life of the fetus. Why?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, why?
Because I care more about people that are conscious and can
I have a
and
question.
have opinions and
the-
have
the-
lives that they care about and have things that will affect them.
Do
Rather
you
than
think
know
that?
something
Wait,
that
hold on a
isn't
second. Do you think
really
newborn?
even
Wait, hold on.
that
Women
isn't
sex?
even really aware that it's
Hold on,
there.
observant.
Hold
Hold on a second, observant. Do you think newborns have opinions about things?
No.
Well, but you said it's not permissible to unalive them. So, like, the newborn doesn't meet the criteria that you listed. So, why isn't it permissible to unalive the newborn?
Because it's already out, bro. What do you want me to say?
You
It's
didn't
already
explain
out.
to me. Great. You didn't
It's out of the
explain to
womb.
me. You didn't explain to me why being out of the womb now means that it's worthy of moral consideration.
Because it's out of the womb. That's why.
Yeah. I no. That's the.
That's my
conclusion.
answer. That's
yeah.
my
I need
answer.
an. Yeah. That's the conclusion. I need argument.
Oh, you need an argument.
Yeah.
I don't
Anybody.
care about what you need.
Well, then you're just stating like your opinion. You don't have any evidence to support your claim. We can just as easily dismiss it when you just
I
don't
care
have anything.
more about what the woman wants than what the baby wants. I do.
Oh,
what if the woman's terrible? What if she's
What
like
if the baby's a woman?
Wait, hold on, guys. You're not really giving us any reasons why we should subscribe to you. You just keep.
In my personal opinion,
I'm not
I
trying to
personally
subscribe.
feel.
I'm not trying. I'm not. Shut up, meatball.
I just
I'm not
feel
trying to get
like this
anyone
is.
to
I just
subscribe
value.
to my view. Okay, you
I just
have
value
a
it.
serious
It's just
interruption
like a
problem.
feeling I have.
I'm
I
not
just,
trying to
it's
get
my opinion.
anyone to agree with me. You asked me questions and I answered them.
I
Yeah,
know.
we asked for the
Is that
moral
not?
aspect of it.
You literally
She was
asked
asking
me questions
specifically.
and I answered them. I'm
No.
not
Okay,
trying. I
Kelly.
did not
She
come
asked
on
you-
here. First
She
of
asked
all,
you for a moral argument.
panel to be disrespected.
no. First of all, I came
Oh,
on
you're
this
playing the
panel
victim card now.
because you had a different prompt that I was trying to answer, and it swayed into the abortion conversation.
Why should we care about anything you have to say when you don't have any evidence to support a single claim that you've made?
You asked me questions.
And
Did you
wanna-
answer
I
a
didn't
single
come
one of
up
them
here
meaningfully?
saying care about what I say. You asked me questions, so I'm
Yep, and
answering
you
your questions.
you failed to answer them.
What do you mean? I gave you answers.
No, I
You
asked
can
you for
answer the
arguments,
question,
and
but
you
it's not even
repeated
an
your
argument.
I'm
opinion.
not trying to
over and
argue.
over.
I came up here trying to talk about something completely different, and you came at me with questions, so I'm answering your
Yeah,
questions.
how
Well, now
how
we're
dare
talking about
how
this.
dare I when you come up on a debate panel that I expect you to have an argument?
I
Like, that's
came up
the
here
crazy
to talk
expectation.
about. I came up here to talk about the responsibility that men have versus women have on
So provide an
children.
argument. Can you support
And then
it? Can
you
can
turned
can
it
you
into an
provide an
abortion
argument for any
argument.
claim? Like how
That's-
about any
wait,
claim
wait.
you've made?
Wait,
Bro, can you listen?
What do you think
Could I please chime in
Can I
here,
ask you
please?
this?
I
The
would
prompt-
like to
Meatball,
decide
don't
who's
you know
born and
she
who's
just-
not.
Wait, guys. The prompt is obviously referring to abortion. Now, there you go. I put a prompt referring specifically
How
to
was the prompt? I came up to respond to the prompt when it said that
Here.
women should keep their legs closed. And I just came to say that it shouldn't be, all the responsibility should not be put on the
Well,
woman.
you know, I
And
backed
then
you
y'all
up.
turned it into an abortion argument.
I backed you up. I
Hold on,
said
And
there
you
are
asked
plenty,
me
there are
questions.
plenty
Hold
of
on, Meatball,
superior
hold on, hold on.
positions
Let
that
me-
don't
let me-
involve
If the
open
woman
Let me
has
get
the
it. Let me
ability
get it.
to
Let me get it.
hold on, observe it.
Who's the one who
Hold on,
controls
hold
this
on.
sexual marketplace?
Yeah, hold on.
Who's the one who
Observe-
controls the sexual marketplace? Is it the woman that allows the man to do
Oh
the
my
thing?
God! Why can't you just
Or is
answer
it the man that
anything
is-
that I'm actually saying? You just want to change
Woman, I
the
just
subject
came up on
again.
panel. I'm not the same person that you were talking to earlier. I think
Okay,
you
then
can
why are
discern
you
that from the
talking? I wasn't
voice.
talking to you.
Right, so I'm asking you the question because
an
you were
open
saying that
panel,
you were addressing the previous
I'm just
the
saying,
previous
I
topic,
came
which
up-
was women should keep their legs closed, which is true, by the way. They
Okay.
should keep their legs closed. But what I'm asking you is that are women the ones who are opening their legs for the men who wind up abandoning them, or
Are
is
men
it?
not the one that's taking it out of their fucking pants and abandoning them?
You're the woman. You have the choice of whether
We
or not you
can't
want
do
the baby
that.
inside
But
you.
y'all
Hold
have
on,
the
hold
choice
on.
to keep it in your
Hold on,
pants,
hold on,
do
hold
you
on, hold on.
We
not?
cannot be
Oh my
inside
God,
you if
bro.
you
You
don't
guys
allow
have
it.
the choice to keep it in
That's
your
a crime.
pants.
Not if I say it's okay and you
Callie,
want to.
Callie,
Do you have
here's
the
the
choice
thing
to
though.
keep it in
You're
your
the one
pants?
with the access who unaliving the child in the first place. The man is not the one carrying the child.
So
Therefore,
you have zero
a higher.
responsibility?
We have zero.
Are you a fucking?
rights.
Is that what I said? Is that what I said?
No, I'm asking. Do you have zero
Callie,
responsibility?
could you repeat to me? Hold on. Could you repeat to me what I just said to you?
No.
Because she's not
Yeah,
listening.
because you weren't fucking listening.
You're so right. Tone police, blah, 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 this, something, dot, dot, dot.
Honestly, I didn't even come up. I was actually gonna help you against Meatball. Honestly, when I first came up, but you're so fucking stupid that I decided.
I'm not mad about what you say.
I mean,
That I was just
Meatball
gonna go against you
she's
anyway.
really ashamed by your positions. Like, you have given no reason.
Y'all
to-
asked me
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
I
Meatball's
answered
actually
them.
pro-choice. By
I
the
don't
way,
know what
Callie.
more you
Does it feel
want.
necessary?
We want
You
an
asked me
argument.
questions.
Yeah, we
Why?
want a claim and a warrant. A claim is something you believe. A warrant is a reason to believe it. We would like a reason to believe what it is that you're saying. Right now, you're not giving us anything.
But why would I give you anything? I came up to talk about something completely different, and then you guys changed all
Yeah.
these questions
So
to talk
why?
about something else.
Why? Hold on. Okay, great. So the prompt prior was women should keep their legs closed.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Right.
Okay, great. Why ought women not keep their legs closed? Could you give an argument for that?
That's not what I was arguing.
You weren't arguing anything.
That's
You
the
were
fucking
saying-
prompt, bitch. If you're
Is it
arguing
like-
a
it's
prompt,
like
that's the
what?
prompt.
It's literally.
Okay,
it's
I didn't
literally
come up
like-
here to be arguing.
Well,
It's
stop acting
literally
like you're
like-
being held hostage at Pew Pew Point. Like you're free to leave if you don't
What
want
am
to
I
talk about
saying?
it.
I didn't.
I don't
Here,
know.
here,
That's
Callie,
all
shut
I'm
up,
saying
shut up.
is
Here,
that
Callie,
I
here,
didn't
Callie.
know
I'm
you
gonna show you.
told
I'm gonna
me.
show you. Here,
Tone,
I
chill for
shouldn't
a
do this,
second.
but I'm gonna
Chill,
show you how to
chill,
do it.
It's like this. It's like if I said
I'm gonna
the
help her.
moon was made of cheese, and then you're like, "Why do you believe that?" And I was like, "Because it's made of cheese." We would be like, "What the fuck are you even talking about?" Which is what's going on right now with your argument.
I don't think
Yo, somebody said cheese.
you're right in that
All right,
comparison.
all right. Let Tone talk.
Okay, yes, thank you, Callie. So here, Callie, I'll help you, okay?
Please help me, Daddy.
Meatball.
Please.
Okay, don't use that rhetoric, okay.
You're gonna get kicked from the
Yikes.
panel.
Daddy,
because I don't
please
tolerate
help me. I need
degeneracy.
help.
I was just
sorry.
gonna-
I'm just a
Yeah, no,
stupid
I'm
woman.
sorry.
I
Yes,
don't know
yes,
what
yes.
I don't
At
think
least-
you. I don't think
at
you
least she's
understand. Like, I
self-aware.
don't think you
At least she's
understand.
telling the truth
Never
now.
mind.
Help me.
No,
She's at least
no.
self-aware.
Stop calling people that.
Come on,
Yeah,
you
no,
gotta let them know you
no,
really want it.
Kelly,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
Please.
I'm sorry. I don't do this
Please
thought
help
pocket
me.
shit.
I'm just a
I don't think you
stupid
understand
bitch who
who I
doesn't know
am.
what she's talking
Yes, you
about.
absolutely
I
are.
tolerate
You
too
absolutely
much of
are.
that.
Correct.
You are, in
tolerated-
fact, a stupid bitch who doesn't know what she's talking about. That's why I came up to help you in the first place.
I
and
tolerated
why
too much of that.
I immediately came back up. Oh, this
I
dumb
mean, that
bitch.
was fun.
Oh,
All right.
Anyway,
Like you
well,
really
fuck,
wanted.
there's no other opposition, so let me just go at Meatball
Wait,
really
no,
quickly.
wait. There
Meatball,
might be one.
what's the morally
Servants.
relevant distinction
Can you tell
between
us,
you
who's
not
the
hosting
people to
my
unalive their children?
my fucking debate tomorrow?
I'm
Why
sorry.
can you not host my debate tomorrow, but
I
you can
have,
be on live at 4:00 in the morning on
I have
Friday?
upcoming commitments.
Yep, upcoming
going
commitments. What are these upcoming commitments that are more morally considerable than the debate that you said you would host when I hosted your debate?
She's in the comments.
Well, either way, Observant, what is your age? What's your stance, Observant?
Hey guys, I'm gonna dip out. It's been a pleasure. Nice meeting you all.
Thanks
I'm
for
gonna show
joining.
you a follow protect. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. You sound like Link, and I will definitely remember you.
My
Thank you.
shoe hurts.
He sounds
Wait,
super
Tom.
good looking.
What's your stance? I don't know everybody's.
No, he's pro life. He's good. Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to
Damn,
follow
there goes Link running again. Damn.
Observant, what is your age?
Anyway.
What's your stance? Yeah.
I am 29.
Are you pro life or pro choice?
I don't think women should be unaliving children.
Okay, then you're pro life. But yeah, that last person. I mean,
What was
I
that?
don't-
What was that, Meatball? What the fuck was that?
Are you guys
I
gonna
did
debate?
that
What
out
the
loud.
fuck was that?
I didn't realize it
Look,
did that out
Meatball.
loud.
Look, hold on. Okay, you said you couldn't host Saturday. Can you host Sunday?
Yeah, I could host Sunday.
Well, then what the fuck
be
was
here
the
for
point
it.
of saying you were busy for the whole fucking weekend?
I told you she has a date.
Look, you Meatball,
I
you
told
raggedy, you.
You shush.
Look, Meatball, I'm about to crash. I'm about to crash on you. I'm about to crash.
I'm neither confirming.
You said
nor
the whole
denying.
weekend. Now you're saying you can. Now
I
you're saying
can. I
you
can
go
do
Sunday.
Sunday. I can do Sunday.
Okay, well then I'll have to
Yeah,
hit
because
the,
she's
the
obviously
fucking
not
little
staying
like
over at
slow
the
kid in the
guy's house,
playground,
dude.
and I'll have to tell him that we can do it Sunday instead.
We can do
Sunday 10 p.m. Does that work for you?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, then I'll have to hit him up and I'll ask him whether or not he wants to do it Sunday at 10 p.m. and with the same. Therefore, you are obligated to host this because you were saying that you're able to do it.
I have entered into a moral commitment. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, well, you did to begin with, but then you
I know,
tried to
I'm
retract
sorry.
yourself from it, like
Yeah,
a
but
pro-choice
bro,
woman,
but
right?
bro,
Like, I mean, like you know, I would expect it, you know, from a
Can you
pro-choice woman.
concede? Can you concede that I was right when I said that it was a date? Right. That's why she can
Well,
change
I
it
have a
up.
question. Listen, neither confirming nor denying.
See.
See,
You owe me
women,
money.
bro.
You owe me money. How much did we bet on this? Was it like 50?
Who, me?
Yeah, we bet on this, dude.
I didn't bet you shit.
Yes, we. What the fuck? Okay,
Hey,
go
look,
on.
if I bet you
Hey.
shit, it wasn't me. It was my alter ego. The other
Shut the
name that I
fuck
go
up.
under.
Are you using a woman's argument right now?
Look, no, it's
It's
that
my
I was,
alter ego, man. You schizo?
Genuinely. Yeah, I'm schizo. Yeah, 100%. No, I'm not schizo. I have
Oh, motherfucker,
dissociative
yeah.
identity disorder.
Motherfucker.
I have 3
Disorder.
different personalities. Tone Police is just one of them.
How do we know who you
so-
are?
Wait a minute. Oh no.
We don't
Ahmed
know.
is
I don't
in
even know
here.
who I am.
I wanted
Who am
Ahmed
I?
to debate Tone a little bit.
Why should anyone listen to you if you don't know who you are?
I'm not doing I'm not doing an informal debate with Ahmed. Ahmed's just a complete fucking he's self-contradictory. He's not gonna do it.
Who are you right
and
now?
honestly, like if I go down, I mean, he can bring. I mean, you can bring him up. It's fine. I'm gonna hit him where it hurts, and he's not gonna be able to handle it.
I mean, I
and then
told
he's
him
gonna be
not
like,
to.
I don't
Person
debate
is
this
doing that.
thing. I've already done it multiple times. I don't debate my own ethical system. I debate a completely different ethical system that isn't my own because I can't actually teach my ethical system. Okay, great. Then don't debate me. There's no.
How many
issue here.
personalities do you have, bro?
Yeah, I got like 5
It's
of
not
them.
really
It's fine. Right now, oh no, actually, right now I have 4. I used to have 7, but like 3 of them got permanently banned from TikTok. So, anyway, Meatball, 10 p.m. EST Sunday, you would be able to host, correct?
Yes, I got you.
Okay, great. I will hit the slow kid on the playground up, and I will ask him if he's
Oh, little
available for
Billy.
that time.
Okay.
Because I don't have a mod. I tried to find a pro-choice mod, and then I also want another pro-choice judge. But I don't trust most of the pro-choicers. You're like one of the only people that I'm trusting enough to be unbiased. I don't think
Why
that you're
can't
going to
she
be
be a
completely
judge as well?
unbiased.
You could do, you know
Why
what I
can't she
do?
be a judge as well, bro?
You do Swan.
She can't be a judge if she's a mod.
No,
Swan
she'll be
might
the
do it.
host, right? She'll
She's
be
going
the
to be the
host.
host, the mod, and a judge, and then we're going to
I
have you
can't
as
take
a
on all
judge,
this
and then another
responsibility.
individual as a judge.
That's too much.
Yeah, she's a woman, dude. Like,
Yeah,
come
you're
on, bro.
it's way too many things.
No, just
Too
make
much,
her
it's
be
too much
the host,
responsibility
make
for
her
her
be
little
the
brain.
host and a
dude.
judge.
Like
and
according
then get someone else to be
according to
involved.
According to Ahmed's beliefs, she only has half a brain. So that you know. I'm not saying that's what I believe. I'm just saying, like, according to Islamic ethics. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. But Sky, did you want to talk to Meatball about her position again? You said like leaving the child on the you said leaving the child on the like porch or whatever was like absurd, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can chop it up, I guess. And,
So the hypothetical I think was like somebody breaks into my house and like leaves a child on my couch. Am I obligated to let it stay there? I said no. You laughed. So why do you think that child is entitled to my property?
I mean, for it to be entitled to your property, I don't necessarily say that. I think it should be entitled to a property, like
But not mine.
not yours.
I'm asking.
I think I would say so. Yeah.
Oh, why?
Because I'm under the impression that outside of who put this child in the state of dependency,
I didn't do that.
well, yeah, sure, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, going for, obviously this child has like, this unique DNA.
So
Wait, didn't you just say it wasn't unique like 20 minutes?
like we can skip over that. What is like the genetic makeup of this
Hold on,
individual?
can I
have
say
to
something really
do with
quickly?
my obligation to like
Wait,
let
hold
it stay
on.
here?
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure, real quick.
I don't think it's your obligation to take care of a child that's not yours, but I also think it's our like duty as adult people to make sure that a child is not like hurt or
Exactly.
under
So it's
any
like
duress.
a nice virtuous thing that we ought to.
No, I think we should do that as people because
It's like a thing we ought to because it's virtuous.
yes.
Oh, okay. W, I agree. Why
So
should
if your child was somewhere and
misunderstanding here.
somebody needed to help them, wouldn't you want them to
timing,
do that for
guys.
your kid?
Yeah, we're not talking about what would be virtuous. We're talking about what I should be legally compelled to do.
Right, you're not legally. You shouldn't do that legally, but like
Oh, what's the argument for that?
it's not the law for you to take care of other people's children, but come on, like think about it. If your kid was out there, you wouldn't want somebody to help them.
No, that'd be nice. It would be virtuous. I would hope somebody would help them. That'd be great. We should all
So
help
you don't
people
think
when we
you should
can.
do the same thing?
No, I'm not. No, you should do this. What I'm saying is that you
Okay.
should be legally compelled to do this.
Right, you're not.
What's a virtue?
Wait, I kind of
Hold
agree
on,
with Meatball there though.
Tia, stop! She got stun locked. She got stun locked. Let her revel in her stun lock.
Okay, okay.
Oh, was that to me? You were asking me what a virtue?
Yeah,
is?
that was to you. Yeah, that was to you,
Oh,
woman.
I'm
What
so
do you
sorry.
mean?
Virtuous things are just going to be things that are ordered toward like some sort of flourishment, or like eudaimonia.
Oh, so like eudaimonia.
Yeah, like eudaimonia.
What?
Oh, like eudaimonia. Okay, so are you gonna
I
are you
love
gonna
eudaimonia.
separate Aristotelian eudaimonia from the original argument that was made?
Yeah, I think I have
in
like a
regards to
I
like
have like
telos and
I have like a jazzy interpretation of like
I don't know what
Italian
jazzy
fun.
interpretation.
Just like
is, but what
jazzy
is
and
jazzy
fun.
interpretation?
It's just like a jazzy fun. It because I don't think it pertains to society or like an obligation you have to society. I think it pertains to the self. So like whereas I think Aristotle, well, a few things. So Aristotle is going to be conflating happiness with eudaimonia. I don't agree. He's going to be
Well,
talking
no,
about
not in the
like
same way that we would say we wouldn't say like happiness in the sense of like the individual's happiness, but like happiness in regards to like good outcomes for the society.
Hold on,
yeah.
but
right. So
Miko,
I'm
you
going to be
yourself
talking about
agree that
eudaimonia
you
as it
should be
pertains to the
taking care of
individual,
kids,
not
right?
to
Even
the
if they're not.
hold on. So it's going to be eudaimonia as it pertains to the individual.
I promise, Observator, and he just let me.
Observator.
Sorry,
Isn't
I'll
that his
listen.
name?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm
So-
sorry, Observant. Hold on. What is his full name?
I don't know.
Observant
fuck.
octopus.
God damn.
Yeah.
Observant
What the fuck
octopus
kind of
is
name?
crazy. That's a wild ass name. I can only see so much of your name because it's long. So like, that's why I was like Observantor, right? Like I thought
That's okay.
was
I'll listen. Go
the
ahead.
full name. But yeah, Meatballs. Yeah, go ahead.
Just that I think it pertains to the self, not necessarily a due to society. I think the argument could be made that like a society would naturally flourish if people were doing things that like are ordered
Flourish in
for
regards
their
to
interest.
eudaimonia.
Yeah.
Wait, then, how are you making the distinction?
Well, what I'm saying is that I think, well, no, if you're asking me eudaimonia in the context of a society, no, I wouldn't acknowledge that. I mean, like
No,
I can.
but eudaimonia, and as far as you're able to define it, you're saying it's in regards to the individual. But then
Right,
you're
and then
saying if we were talking about the people in society as a whole, it would be in regards to eudaimonia. But, so like this is kind of like you're.
Well, I
trying to have the
understand what
both
you're
and
saying.
at the same time.
Well, no. So I think what I would accept is that, when people are living in such a way that they're like doing things that are ordered toward their interests, I think it's more likely that we would have a society that is cohesive and thrives and flourishes. But if you're talking about that state of flourishment as being eudaimonia within like a social context, like I just wouldn't think of eudaimonia in that way.
So, what takes precedence, the eudaimonia of the individual or the eudaimonia of the society as a whole?
The individual.
Okay, so then if the eudaimonia of the individual is valued higher than eudaimonia for society, you would say that the eudaimonia of the individual, even if it led to severe negative consequences to the society, like the unalivement of the society as a whole,
Yep.
it should still be pursued.
Yeah, I think like the Papua New Guinea society should just be like it should just like dwindle off, and we should build a casino.
Well, no, I'm not even asking about Papua New Guinea. That's not even where I was going with it.
Well, I
More
don't
so where
care
was going
about
with
like
it
the
is-
society. I just basically what I'm saying is that I don't think I have a duty to others in society intrinsically outside of actions that I shouldn't take.
Are you an anti-natalist?
No. I just don't think the ends justify.
I feel like the logical entailment of your position is anti-natalism.
No,
right?
even
even
no.
if you're not willing to admit to it,
Well, no, because I don't hold the view that it's going to be like immoral to
that you ought to do this thing. Yeah. No,
well-
I get that, but I'm saying like it would lead to the same consequences as anti-natalism.
Well, if the consequences are the same, that doesn't mean that I adhere to like anti-natalist principles. I would just say that the ends don't justify the means. Like, if it were the case that all of the women decided
agree.
if all of the women in a society decided that they no longer wish to reproduce, engage in SMEX, do IVF, and the only way to sustain the society involved raping at least some of the women, I would say let the society die off. I don't care. I don't
Okay,
have
what
a
if it was
duty
globally?
to society.
What if that was a global situation?
Yeah, same thing, same answer.
Okay, and so why would you say that it would be wrong to grape women in this context?
Well, because it would be a violation of their intrinsic human rights, and I just don't think I don't think anybody necessarily has a duty to others outside of like actions they ought not take. I don't think I have like a proximal obligation to others.
Wait. But where is the ought coming from?
Just that it's going to lead to a conclusion that I find favorable.
Okay, so consequences.
Well, sure. So, like, it may be the case that I like value flourishing societies, and I think it would be good if people were to like.
Yeah, but you
know,
value the
You just don't
flourishing
think
of
it's
the
your
individual
duty to
over
do
the
anything about it.
societies. So, like, this is where the contradiction comes in, because in one sense you're trying to argue for the flourishment of the individual and in regards to eudaimonia, but then on the other hand you're saying that you do value the flourishment of the society, and so that's where the consequences come in.
Well, no,
Like the
one
overall
instills like a
consequences.
duty and one doesn't, right? So I can just say that I happen to like some outcome. Like I like it when societies are thriving and flourishing, but I don't think you have a duty to ensure that your society is flourishing and thriving. I do think that you have a duty to yourself, and then I could say you have a duty to others
So,
as it pertains to like inaction.
sure,
So are
isn't
you
this
saying
just
that you wish
isn't
the
this just
world was a better
subjectivism at its
place, but you
base?
don't feel like it's your duty to do anything about it?
Sorry, what?
Well,
You
no,
think
that's not
the
what
world
she's
should
saying.
be a better place, but you don't think it's your responsibility to do anything to make sure that that happens.
That's not necessarily true.
No, that's not what she's stating.
Okay, can
Just
you
really
explain it a
quickly.
little bit further?
So, yeah, so Meatball, basically, fuck, man, that just made me lose my train of thought. Eudaimonia of the society, there's no obligation in regards to the society, but only to the individual.
I think you still have, like, when we're talking about obligations, we can talk about, like, a duty to not do things within a society.
Sure,
So,
okay, great. Yeah. Okay, so where did these obligations stem from? But this isn't going to be the way that I was originally going to go about it, but I would
it
just
would,
like to get
yeah,
clarification on
it
this.
would just be self-defeating to hold the view that it would ever be permissible to deprive somebody of a negative right. Because if other people were to deprive you of these things, it would, like, restrict your ability to flourish. So it would be
Right,
self-defeating to say that you
but the
should do it to others.
rights, but the rights are based upon flourishing, right? Or eudaimonia.
Yeah, insofar as that if we deprive people of these things, it would prohibit
So
them. It would
how is
restrict them.
how is this not circular?
Wait a minute.
Don't interrupt right now.
Hold on, Tia. I promise you don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I don't know how long you've been here.
No,
I
I
don't
have a
know
question.
what
Go
all you've
ahead.
spoken about.
How would it
it's
be?
fine.
How would it be
Just-
circular?
Yeah, because you're saying that you value the society as a whole, but you value more so the individual eudaimonia, or I'm sorry, the eudaimonia of the individual, but that there is no obligation to society as a whole, even though you think that ultimately there is some sort of benefit that comes out of
Well, that would
valuing
just be. It
the
would just
society
be. It
as a
would just
whole.
be the. Well, it would just be the case that like the byproduct of like people engaging in a cohesive way and like a society that's thriving and flourishing. Like this
I mean,
is something that I like.
society is built by individuals.
Just hold on a
Yes,
second.
everyone understands that.
We know.
Everyone understands that.
So
All right,
I like this outcome. I desire a society that is thriving and flourishing.
This
It's
is
great.
where I was going with it. So it's just
Mhm.
subjective, right?
Yeah,
Like it ultimately comes down to subjectivism.
She's already conceded to preferences, bro.
Hold on a second.
Yeah,
That is my.
I just want to be abundantly clear.
Yes,
it's based
so-
upon your own subjective preference. Right?
No, so the value that I place on like a thriving society, that's just subjective. That's just a value claim. The interests that I'm talking about maintaining as it pertains to the self are not subjective. These are not dispositional.
But why ought we value the values that you're saying we ought
Oh,
to value?
yeah, well just because it would be self-defeating not to. It would be irrational. And that would be
How
not
so?
in a that would be
Should
not
we
in
be
alignment
rational?
because
should we be
that's
How so?
that's like the telos of probably humans. Is
Wait,
rationality.
oh, you don't want to bring Talos into this?
I do, I just did.
Okay, so what is the telos of the individual or the society as a whole?
Well, of the
Or more
individual
so
would
even just the individual level, yeah. We can start with that. What's the telos of the human?
I would say, I really do think that rationality. I would say the thing that makes us distinct from other animals is the fact that we are of the rational kind. So I'm comfortable saying that rationality is probably going to be like the telos of humans.
Okay, and if an individual does not have the ability to have the same capacity for rationality as you do, are they less valuable then?
No, they like if you're just like it's just because this is like the telos of humans doesn't mean that every individual will necessarily be able to
I
achieve
agree.
this.
I agree. I
I can
just
still
wanna make
value
sure.
them, yeah.
Yeah. No. I agree because yeah.
Kind
I
of
get
like
you.
how the
Uh,
telos of the eyes is to see, but some people just
Sure.
don't have eyes.
Sure. And how do you know what this telos is to begin with?
Well, I guess it would just be the distinguishing trait. between us and any other species.
Sure, but
Would
this
be the
isn't
thing
is
that
all.
sets us a
Yeah, this is the is all gap, right? And like, if you're saying that the is here is that we have this distinguishing trait. I mean, we have plenty of other distinguishing traits.
Sure.
In regards to animals or any other sort of life, right? Like in regards to plants and all these other sorts of life.
It's also a fallacy, by the way.
Bacteria,
You say
whatever.
that just
Yeah,
because
no,
you.
it's yeah. That the is all gap. It is all a fallacy, right?
You're
Moose
asking me
guillotine.
why we ought like
Yeah,
endeavor
why?
to
No,
achieve this.
no. That's not what I'm doing. But what I'm saying is you're already committing the fallacy by saying, well, we have this thing. This is the case. Descriptively, we are different than other animals. Therefore, we ought value this thing. And
Well,
what I'm saying is that you cannot derive an ought from an is.
well, no, that's not the
This is
reason why
Hume's
we should
guillotine.
value. No, that's not the reason why we should value it. I just simply said this is the thing that distinguishes us from other animals, and that's how we arrive at what the telos is. But if you're asking me like why we ought preserve this, or
You're saying that telos is the thing is, but you're saying that telos is why we ought value. Hold on, really? No, really quickly.
No.
Really quickly. I'll let you jump in a second. I promise. You're saying that telos is the reason the reason for why we ought value.
No.
This.
No.
So the telos is not why you would value.
I mean, I can, yeah. So the telos isn't why I necessarily value human beings. I think the telos is
No, the
rationality.
individual. The individual's eudaimonia though is. So why you value the individual's eudaimonia is because of the telos of the individual.
No, the reason why
which
I
is in
value
reference to,
no.
Okay.
The reason why I value it is because it would be self-defeating not to.
Right, but
And
then when I
since-
ask you why
and
it's
since-
self-defeating, you're
well,
saying
well, the
because
reason-
they are of the telos
Well,
of
here's the thing.
this-
So I believe if the telos of
Go ahead,
human being,
Fortress.
so hold on a second. If the telos involves rationality, it would be self-defeating to do things that are irrational.
Yeah, but you haven't given a reason.
Sure,
for why
but
it's
you're
wrong
that's
to
a
be
presupposition that the telos is that oh my god, that rationality is necessary for the telos, right? Like this.
Well, that is the
specific
telos.
right?
It is.
I think
the
she doesn't know how to
Right,
finish
but
her
you're, no,
thoughts
you're
and proceed
proclaiming it to
properly.
be such, but I'm asking you to substantiate the claim that it is such. So you're this is the thing. You're going from the is to the ought, and you're not giving
You're asking
substantiation
why.
for the
Oh,
is
you're
in the
asking
first
why
place.
the telos. You're asking why the
I'm
why.
asking you
you
a
that
couple
the whole
different
time.
questions because we're bouncing back and forth. Yeah, I mean we've been kind of going back and forth between is and ought the entire
also
time.
just-
So hold
you
on. So
also
ask
just
me.
bumped
Wait
it.
a
Here,
second.
I'll let
Wait a second,
Fortress hand
Fortress.
it over.
Hold on,
I'll
Fortress.
hand it over to
Oh,
Fortress.
I was gonna ask to just like restate the question clearly. So
That's
I'm not
sure.
understanding the question.
I mean, honestly,
got
like
it the whole
the
time.
original question, the original question that I asked, I can't even remember because we got caught up in semantics, and then we went through the eudaimonia of the individual, the eudaimonia of the society, you valuing the eudaimonia of the individual higher than that of the society, and then we got into this whole like other conversation in regards to telos and all of this. Honestly, I feel like we got so caught up in the net. I'm willing to just let Fortress go with it.
No,
I'll
it's fine.
mute up.
I just have one thing. to
Meatball
say.
also, but before Fortress goes, Meatball, you better fucking host this
I'm
debate
gonna.
Sunday.
I said.
You better.
Bro,
You fucking
don't
better.
leave me. I
Look,
gotta leave and
Protect.
pop
I
off
need
the
you.
versus
I
live.
need you to clip it. I need you
Yes,
to clip this
yeah.
Fortress.
I can tell she's not
Because-
serious just by the way she laughed.
It would be antithetical to
no.
my interests to lie to you.
You me antithetical to my what are interests?
Interests are
relevant interests.
interests are just going to be properties. Interests are just going to be properties that
properties of the
would need to be
universe that are self-explanatory.
maximized.
They're
Would just need to be
self-evident.
maximized in order for us to
There's a
flourish.
Well,
challenge
I
always.
find your entire position to be completely unintuitive. Therefore, I've
Blah,
won the
blah,
debate. Anyway, I'm gonna go on mute. All right, hang on.
No, I only have one thing to say, which was that simply pointing out the distinction mustn't be must.
Hey, Bobby, hit me back on
necessitate it
Discord, by the
being-
way. I just saw you're in here. Sorry, I'm sorry, Fortress. I didn't mean to cut
No,
you off.
it's fine,
Bobby,
it's
I just
fine.
saw you're in here. DM me on Discord because I did hit you up earlier.
So
I think
just
it's when
because a
everything is ordered
distinction doesn't
towards
mean that
Fortress.
it is the telos, right?
No, I know
Just-
that. No, I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think
don't
everything
know
is
why-
ordered. Everything is ordered toward that. I think.
I'm too tired for this.
What
I'm too
is
tired for
that?
this.
What is that that is
Yeah.
being ordered towards? I think that's what Fortress is trying to get at there.
Yeah.
Well, so eudaimonia, that's going to be the well-being. The telos is going to be rationality, and interests are just going to be properties that need to be maximized in order for us to achieve eudaimonia. But the telos is going to be like the purpose. So the purpose is to maximize rationality, or we are of the rational kind.
Well, no, the telos would be telos. The telos would be the purpose of the maximization of
And the reason for
eudaimonia, and eudaimonia would be in reference to, specifically under your proposition, the individual, not the society.
Right. Eudaimonia is
Right?
going to be the well-being itself. So reason why I think we
Well-being
ought
itself,
value.
but in regards to, or in index to the individual, right?
Yeah, but I think that
Not
like,
the society.
correct. But I think it's the reason why this is important is because I think it is self-defeating not to adhere to these things. Because if I'm saying that the purpose is to be like of the rational kind, if you reject rationality, like this is just self-defeating.
Yeah, but
Well,
what's
no,
wrong
yeah,
with, what's
I'm not
wrong with
rejecting
not adhering to your
rationality.
telos?
What's what?
Yeah.
What's wrong with not adhering to your telos?
It's irrational. It's irrational.
Why should we value rationality?
Why should we value rationality?
Yeah.
Because I think rationality is what helps us to make sense of the world around us, and I think it would just be absurd and chaotic, and we wouldn't be living in accordance with our interests if we're
What's
irrational.
wrong with
Or
When you say what's wrong, it just means we wouldn't be flourishing. We would not be able to achieve well-being.
Sure, what's
Sure,
wrong
why
with
is well-being a good?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Because the
Fucking
reason
sorry,
why it's a
Fortress, you
good
said you
thing-
retired, so I was about to just go through
The
it
reason
for you.
why
My
it's
bad, God, dude.
the reason why it's a good thing is because it would be self-defeating to reject it.
Hey,
That's why
Sarah,
it's
have
a
you
good
heard
thing.
about do you know about a wonderful little island off the coast of Australia?
Yeah, she already brought it up
I
earlier.
already am
She
familiar.
brought it
I
up
said
earlier.
let
She
the,
already said that she's willing to let the children.
No, I didn't say that. I said shut up. I said the opposite of that. I said
No,
let them die out and build a
no,
casino.
no, you didn't.
Shut
No,
up. That's
you
not what I
didn't.
said. I said
We
let
all
them
heard you.
alive, let the society die out, and then we build a casino, and it'll be great. And then I'll get to win back my $1,600. that I
Wait,
lost.
but that goes contrary to your eudaimonia, though.
No, because I wasn't talking about the well-being of the society.
The
We're talking about the
eudaimonia.
well-being.
No, no.
thinks
Okay,
the
well, what
well-being
about
of
the
the
well-being of
individual
the?
is more
But hold on,
important.
but the well-being of the individual. What? Hold on, really quickly. The well-being of the individual, if that's what you, or the eudaimonia of the individual that you so value, right? Would it be a higher, let's say, fuck, what's the word?
Threshold?
No, a higher
Threshold?
Hedonic calculus.
no, bro. Going against something. Fuck. What's the word?
Threshold is
Too late for me.
Is it like
not
level?
rationalism. What the-
No, threshold.
Would it be okay? Here. Would it be going against the eudaimonia of the individual more so, to allow the
Conflict
thing
of
to happen
interest.
if everyone is in agreement?
Yes. Yes,
hold on. Rather than going against the eudaimonia of the society and every individual in the society, because we're not talking about society as a whole, but for the individuals who are not going to be able to procreate, being the children that are not able to fulfill their manhood roles, therefore they're not able
That's
to
just
procreate.
that's just a
or find-
decision that's just a decision that they're making because they've been like socially conditioned to believe these things are true about themselves.
Sure, but
which
it
they're
doesn't.
not.
It doesn't matter though. It still would go against their well-being because they're going to be
Well, no.
mentally harmed.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I don't believe that well-being is dispositional. I think things are either ordered toward or antithetical to the well-being of a person. So it may be the case that they very much
Wait,
desire
Sure, but then how are you defining well-being here then?
property maxims, flourishment.
Right.
gonna
Hold on.
index the
Here's the thing, though.
consequential
Flourishing. No, but you already said flourishing is eudaimonia. Eudaimonia would be.
Flourishing is
This
what
is
flourishing
very
is what
circular here.
happens. No. Flourishing is
When
hold
eudaimonia
on.
is present. Is
So-
when eudaimonia is present.
Hold on. So eudaimonia is like the goal. Flourishing is what
Yes.
happens when actions are taken to like preserve the interests that are going to like lead
Of
us
the
toward.
individuals.
Right. So what I'm saying is
Sure.
that these interests are
And so,
not
what about the
dispositional.
harm? Right. And
Well-
what about the interests of the entire tribe?
I don't
Even
care.
if we're not talking about the society. No. I'm not
You
talking
just
about
said
the
you don't
society
care?
as a whole. But
Yeah, I don't care
each
about that society.
individual that makes up the
Yes.
society,
So their
you're going
harms.
against their
No.
eudaimonia,
Well, no, because
as
again,
well
this
as
is
the eudaimonia of
well,
the
no, I'm
children
not. Hold on a
who
second.
are committing the act,
No,
even
and
if
I'll
they
tell
are
you why.
indoctrinated into
I will
doing
tell
so.
you why.
If you don't care
Just
about other people,
I just
hold
want
on
to
a
point that
second.
out.
Hold on. Let me respond, Jesus. So what I'm saying is that just because harm occurs, or just because somebody feels a certain
Yes,
way,
I
or
agree.
they strongly dislike
you said
something,
you don't care
That's
about
not
other
my.
people.
That's not my
can
question.
you?
Hold on. Let
Oh,
me
shut up!
respond.
Shut up, observant! Shut up! Shut up, observant!
Okay.
God, dude.
I'm going to give
If
you
anyone's gonna cut her off, it's gonna be me.
true. So here's
Shut
what
up,
I
no,
mean.
hit me.
It could be the case that I strongly desire to consume the seminal fluid. Everybody around me wants me to do that. And it's going to cause me a lot of psychological distress if I'm not able to do
No,
this
it
thing.
doesn't though. No, the
No,
opposite
she
is
said if
true.
she's not
Under the
able to. She
hypothetical,
said she's not
under the
able to.
hypothetical, under the hypothetical, the children are not under any psychological harm by doing the thing. In fact, they're flooded with happiness
She
chemicals
got
like
it right.
No, I
serotonin,
said it's the
She got it right.
opposite. I
oxytocin.
said
She
if
got
I
it right.
stop
She
them,
got it
no,
right.
what I said is that if
Right,
I
if you
they,
stop them, they're
no,
they're okay.
listen,
Great.
holy
Okay.
fuck, listen.
Great.
What I'm
Great.
saying
Great.
is that they want
Yes.
to do this thing. It brings them a lot of pleasure. And if I deprive them of the
Yes. Yes.
opportunity to do that, it causes them a lot of harm insofar as they're like psychologically very troubled. This,
Does that affect
there's
their
like a lot of
well-being?
Sure. So, like I would say it affects like their psychology, but no, the action of consuming seminal fluid is not ordered toward their well-being. It's not, your well-being is not dispositional. It has nothing to do with what you want
Yeah, but
necessarily.
the negation would have a negative effect on
Just
their
because it
well-being.
has a
So if you
negative,
don't
well,
allow them,
yep.
right?
I'll give.
But that's what I'm
I'll,
saying. It has a negative effect
yep.
according to the eudaimonia
It
of
doesn't.
this
No,
specific
no.
individual.
And I'll tell you why. So, first
Sure.
of all, so the eudaimonia that I'm talking about, or the well-being I'm referencing, isn't really different
Is
from
in
person
regards to
to
the
person.
individual.
Well, it speaks about the
What?
individual, but you don't have
Well,
like
then you should
individual
be.
interest.
What?
Listen, the interests aren't different. The interests are going to be consistent. All I'm saying when I'm talking about the individual is that we're talking about an individual as opposed to a society. But well-being, the interests that would be ordered toward well-being, have nothing to do with like what an individual personally like desires or has like a disposition toward. So here's the example I'm giving you.
Well, then you're cooking yourself right now, Nicole.
No, let me explain. I very much desire to do hard shrugs. I love them. I want them. They make me feel good. If you try to take them away from me, it's going to cause me profound psychological distress. It's going to make me feel really bad. My body might go into some like withdrawal symptoms. This is going to be really terrible for me. Is that harmful? In some sense, yes. But depriving me of dangerous shrugs is not antithetical to my well-being.
Yeah,
In fact, it's ordered toward my
yeah,
well-being.
but your ordering of which one matters more to the individual is going to be preference based according to you. Like if I want to
No.
unalive earlier and I get more pleasure from like temporary shrug addiction, right? The high that I get, I value that more than my life. That's not something for you to, normatively call out as a bad preference, right?
Well, it's not, it wouldn't be ordered toward your well-being. You might have that preference, but your preferences in that case would be antithetical to your well-being.
But no, he's talking about your preferences. You ascribing what is eudaimonia and what is not eudaimonia. If you do not have a grounding for this thing, is going to ultimately come down to subjectivism, and it's going to be different for each individual.
It's
So then
not.
you can't actually. Well, then how do you objectively ground your position in regards to eudaimonia for the individual?
Sure. So we look at property maxims. So we try to identify the different properties that make up a human being, and we need to
This
see
is going
the.
to be an is-ought fallacy.
Well, no,
That's
let
what
me
I brought
finish.
up
Let me
earlier.
no. Let me
Okay,
finish
go
because
ahead.
we're talking about maxims. So we're looking to see which sorts of actions
There
are
are
either going.
self-evident truth.
Hold on.
Self-evident
We need.
truths.
Hold on. So we need to see any
Facts.
action that we're talking about. Is this going to be ordered toward or antithetical to those properties being able to be like maximized, right? So you could say like again, the eyes. The eyes
Right,
have
but
a
maximized
telos.
according to you, though.
No,
According to
no, not according to me.
But-
In terms of what they were like, I don't want to use the word designed, but what they have the capacity. It's going to be like the
No,
maximum
use the word
capacity.
design because you're like one step closer.
Oh,
You-
stop
you
it.
know the truth.
I would
you
say
know the
there-
truth.
shut
You
up.
just want to argue it
Okay.
so that you don't.
So
have
so
to
what I'm
agree
going to
with
say,
it.
the max, so
Come
their
on,
capacity. So
come
it's going to
on,
be, it's going to
Meatball.
be.
Become a Christian.
No,
Come
it's going
to
to be.
Christ.
Shut
Come
up.
to
It's gonna,
orthodoxy.
no,
Do it.
no, it's going to be like being able to achieve the capacity, whatever it was. Like again, I'll say designed. I don't care. Whatever it was designed to hold, whatever it has
Who
the
designed
capacity
it?
to
Who
hold.
designed
Who is it
humans?
designed
Fucking
for?
evolution designed it. Evolution designed it. All right.
Who
Hot
design
shot.
Wait, evolution
Design
doesn't have
evolution.
any designing properties. Like
That's not
evolution would
true.
just be an accidental process. Yeah, no, I'm
It's
sorry.
not accidental. It's maximizing things that are
It
beneficial.
actually is.
It's
I'm
maximizing
sorry.
things that are
Okay, hold on,
beneficial
hold on.
to the organism.
Yeah,
No,
It's
it
not
depends on
accidental.
who's
That's
accidental means. Right? Hold on. So really quickly, so is it? So it's not objective. It would be some sort of accidental properties.
well, it's not really
that would
accidental.
eventually create, yeah, accidental or autonomous. I mean, those are the only ways you could define
No,
evolution.
no. The way that this happens is that like you could say that there's a mutation, and the mutation could be accidental. But if the mutation
But the
benefits the
mutation only
organism,
occurs because the individuals who had the prior mutation unalived out because they were lesser or weaker.
well, no.
then
Mutations can be quite positive. So that's how we adapt, right? That's how we
that's
become
what I'm
like more
saying.
evolved.
That's literally what I'm saying.
Okay, so
That's
what I'm saying is somewhere along
So
the line,
the
there's
individuals who
some
do not have the higher, the individuals that do not have the more beneficial mutations wind up unaliving out. But this is purely by accident. So like
You
when we
can
go
just
back to the
ask her who designed
foundational.
evolution. bro.
well,
Who
wait, it's
designed
not that it's by
I know, but
accident.
she
It's
already
just
said.
well, hold on a second. It's
Yeah.
not that it's by accident. It's just descriptively true that if you have an organism that is flourishing because they have this mutation, it enables them to do something that the other one can't
It's
do.
descriptive.
It's just survival
It's
of the.
descriptively true that it's
It's
accidental, though.
well,
If
it's
it's
well,
hold on,
no.
hold on. When I'm talking about accidental, I'm saying you have a dichotomy between accidental versus intentional.
If that's the way that you're using as a like if you're saying as opposed to intentional, um, it's not
Well,
intentional.
how?
And so, okay, hold on a
What's
second.
the opposite of accidental under your view? How you're defining accidental?
So okay, yeah. Well, I didn't use the word accidental.
Maybe purposeful. Maybe
So,
intentional.
well, see, here's the thing. So when we talk about like intentional, you could say that things have a purpose, but it doesn't mean that there's like a mind that's facilitating this. We could
Wait,
say
but
it's
is
just
it
like,
an ultimate purpose or is it a purpose made of its own?
well, it's. I mean, if we talk about like a biological imperative, for example, this is just like
That's not a
describing.
purpose. That's not a purpose. That's just a natural drive, which would be an is, not an ought.
Well, no, I'm not talking
If you
about
have a
an
purpose,
ought.
you have an ought. Well, a
Well,
purpose would
Oh,
necessitate an ought.
Well, no, like the question would be how do we fulfill this end? If like the organism has an imperative to continue to
What end
sustain
though?
itself. Yeah,
But
just to continue to
this is the
sustain
thing
itself.
though. These are the epistemic problems though. You're saying that there is an end, right? You're presupposing there's an end, but that end has to be justified prior to you actually claim that there
Well,
is an end.
so really what it is just, and we can
Otherwise,
observe
everything is
this.
accidental.
Well, so here's the thing, like we can observe this, I think, in
That's
all life
empiricism.
forms. Well, sure. We can observe this in all life forms that like life wants to sustain itself. That if you try to unalive somebody or something, they're going to fight that naturally. So like the organism
Sure.
itself
That doesn't
wants
mean
to
it's wrong or
sustain.
right to do so.
No, I agree. I agree. Fine. But what I'm saying is that things that are ordered toward like this entity achieving its biological imperative, that those are the things that are going to be like that are going to continue to like perpetuate within the species or within
But
the
then
form.
this
And
is
then
still
Why
sure,
why
but that
ought
doesn't
we
make
do
it
that
good.
though? Yeah.
That
Why
well,
ought
no,
doesn't
the
make
thing
it
that would make
good.
it
That's
good.
what I'm
No,
saying.
I agree. The thing that would make it good is if we say we value this thing, and then we observe that this is like a mechanism by which to achieve the thing that we value.
Sure, but then that's just a consensus, like a subjective consensus. It wouldn't be an objective metric.
Well, hold on a
As we
second.
say we ought to
Depends.
value these things or we ought not.
Well, I don't
Yes.
think so. So there's a question. If you're making like a moral claim, I don't know that that's really
Well,
like.
that's where this all originally stemmed from. Is ought
Okay.
you be able to unalive your child or not? Like we're making moral claims here. I'm just trying to get down to
Well,
the
sure,
bottom
but
of
I
it.
don't know
And I
that
get
I would
that
make a
we've been
moral
going.
claim. I don't think it's a moral
Meatball,
claim.
after you,
Just
well, you
shut
better
up.
host my fucking debate on
I'm
Sunday. You
gonna.
better
Okay,
fucking
okay.
host my debate on
Okay.
Sunday.
All I'm saying
And
is that
and when I
it's
do, I'm gonna use an argument different than what I will pose to you because you're way higher tier than fucking BT3 is. But honestly, I'm probably gonna give him like the slop argument. And he's not gonna be able to defeat
it's
it.
gonna
But
be embarrassing.
I
But
would like to have a formal one-on-one with you at some
are you
point.
challenging me?
I think I'm not formally
No, we're
challenging you right
supposed
now.
to
I'm just
take a
saying
break
this is
after
no.
this.
I'm
We're
just saying
supposed to
my
take a break.
preferences. I am supposed to take a break. Yes, I know. Fuck.
Oh, fuck
Meatball,
you.
look,
If
hey, how about 6 months
dumbass,
from now?
dumbass,
Look,
dumbass,
how about
dumbass.
6 months from
If
now?
you don't take if you don't take a break, I'm not gonna take a break, and that's gonna be really bad for the both of us.
It's gonna be really bad for both of us. Yeah, it is. It is.
I should take a break.
Wait, Meatball.
So
Meatball,
I have my
debating?
debate coming up this weekend.
Huh?
Yeah.
So I didn't
sorry.
want to interrupt you, but like Meatball, were you debating Azrael earlier?
Oh yeah,
How'd
well
that
yeah.
go?
No, I heard part of that.
Was you
That
guys
didn't go
home?
great for Meatball or Azrael. Honestly, I don't think
No,
either one of
no,
them
I
really
think it went fine for
gained
me.
any
I
ground.
don't. It didn't go well for him.
It didn't go well for you either. I can
That's not
promise you
true.
that.
No, bullshit.
I was
Where
watching from
where
outside
did
the
I
lab.
fumble? Oh, okay, tell me where I
The
fumbled.
bullshit. I'm calling the bullshit. Here.
Where did I fumble? Where?
Yeah, I
Not
was saying
saying Crisis
that.
King.
Okay.
When you didn't say
Yeah,
Crisis
basically.
King,
Yeah,
that's when
pretty
you
much.
fumbled.
But not Azrael.
Can you just like make me really really happy now and say Crisis King?
Yeah.
Wait, Toad, have you debated Azrael before?
She can't do it.
I'll say
no,
it.
No,
I can
Tones.
say it.
The fuck Tones.
Yeah, but
Holy
can you
shit.
mean it?
No,
Can you mean it?
Azrael is pro-life.
definitely
I've
wanna
never
date,
debated against him. I've been on a
debate
panel
Meatball.
with him,
Oh. Oh yeah.
but I've never debated against him. I may have like had a couple questions for him here or there, if he was LARPing. I can't remember.
He's just
But
annoying. It's just so annoying.
Isn't he the
no,
one who
I
made the tier
I heard a
list?
little bit.
No, I don't think he made it.
No, he didn't make that atrocious.
No, no,
I think it was
no.
was it poker?
I'll tell you about it later, Fortress, because there's.
Okay.
I'll tell you about it later.
It's a joke, but
No, I did see your conversation with him, like a small portion of the conversation, and basically I think you both were talking past one another for the vast majority of that conversation.
I said this,
Um,
like, I kind of laid down some ground rules. I was like, listen, if you ask me a question, like, I'll let you get it all out. Ask me a question. I'll mute while you're talking. And then when you're done, I'll respond. And then he proceeded to ask me 19
You
questions.
interrupted a whole bunch of times while people were talking.
I had no choice. Well, whatever. But the thing is, with that one, what it came down to at the end, I said, listen, because he was telling me that my semantics were all wrong. I said, are you trying to give me an internal critique right now or an external critique? Because if you're giving me an external
Oh
critique,
yes, and that's when
that's
you
fine.
brought up tautology, right? And you were
Oh
saying
my
that
God.
it would be self-contradictory. I remember. No, and that's why when you brought up it being self-contradictory here, I was asking you. I said, how is it self-contradictory? And then we got into the eudaimonia thing and all that. And
Just
then-
because you,
but
if you,
I think you guys probably went a little bit further because like I don't even bring up the term tautology because I'm not well read enough to really get into all these like philosophical terms. That's honestly my weakness is the philosophical terminology. But that may not be abundantly clear.
I just think
based
it's like
upon the conversation. I mean, you have had, but like
it's like a fine answer to say like when the question is like, why ought we value this? Why ought we do this? Because it would be self-defeating not to, and naturally
well,
like
no, it wouldn't be self-defeating not to. Here's the thing, though. Like, if I gave you a claim and I'm like, we ought be anti-natalist.
When you say
because,
self-defeating, you're
it's
already
better for the
appealing to some
environment,
kind
right?
of framework.
But here's the thing. No, but here's the thing, though. I'm pretty sure, Meatball, you would disagree with me if I said we ought be anti-natalist because it's better for the thriving or the eudaimonia of plant life or animal life or whatever. When you ask me, okay, well, where do you derive this ought from? You know where I'm gonna go with it.
yeah, but
for
it would
you,
but self-defeating
When I
is
ask you, you just immediately go back to it's
well,
self-defeating
I'm
because
going to
it
explain
would go
why
against eudaimonia.
why I
Can
say
you
that,
stop
right?
interrupting him for a second?
No, she's fine.
She's
fine.
This is
Me
how
and
we
her-
yeah,
me and
this
her
is
just
how we
very-
talk. This is fine. So
Yeah,
so what I
yeah, she's fine. She's yeah, we're friends here. It's not like me and her like coming at each other's throats. I think it's just like she needs
Just
to
enjoy my
be put in
memes,
her
bro.
place
Just
as
sit
a
back and enjoy
woman.
them.
And
Stop taking my photos. Stop taking photos of
Oh
me.
my
and
god, you
talking
fat
like that.
bitch! I knew it.
Stop it. Thank you. So when I say it's
No, like I was saying, she just needs to be put in her place as a woman, and like that's why like I'm kind of talking over her a little bit, and like
I agree.
That's
Speak
just how
over
it
her,
works here.
please. She
How did
deserves
you
it.
even? How
yeah,
did you even
I'll
get a
cook
date,
you
bro?
next.
If you're like
That's fine.
600
Observant.
pounds, what the fuck?
Do you want to debate me?
Fuck,
Observant.
man. No,
You want to do
please,
that?
Lord,
You want to
no.
do that? You want to do
I don't
that?
even know who this guy is.
I don't either,
I've
but
looked
I
the
don't
last
know.
time.
It's hella
and, like,
confident.
All right,
Wait.
guys, I'm gonna give you like 15 minutes from the end. So, observants, if you want to investigate Meatball stance, well, good luck.
Yeah, it's fine. Me and Meatball have gone at each other like 15 times
Investigate
now.
her,
I think
bro.
I've cooked her like 12.
No, it's cool.
and
The more I
we've
listen
been
to her, the
deadlocked,
more
like
she
3,
exposes
so
herself. It's fine. I'll just listen.
it's fine.
What is
It's fine.
Meatball?
Observant. investigate my view.
Hey, town police.
I'm okay. I don't need to hear
Oh,
anything
you're
you
okay
need to
now.
say.
So you were like, oh, continue to talk.
Hey,
Over.
No,
I heard my name.
Whatever. But now
Go
you're
ahead.
not. So you're not so
You
confident
keep making
anymore.
a fool out of yourself. I'll just let you do
Hold
it.
on. You guys got
okay,
15.
great.
You
So
guys
I'm
got
making a fool
15
out of
fucking
myself.
minutes.
You're
Hold
not
on.
even willing to engage. You're not even willing to engage.
Woman.
He's not. Wait.
You're not even a believer, but
I
First
can't
Timothy
stand. I'm not going to
2:12.
stand for that.
Women should not speak. Women should not speak.
No,
really
wait.
quickly.
That's so. No,
Hold
he's
on.
running.
Hold on.
He's so
Someone was
clearly
trying to
running.
ask me something, and then you guys can get into it. Well, who the fuck said my name?
It was me. So
what's up, man?
I'm trying to get into like philosophical terms. What's it called? Anti-natalist or something like that?
Yeah, that's not philosophical.
Antinatalism would be that it's like the. I mean,
you don't want
it's
kids.
not-
There's
You want
different
society.
variants of
Yeah,
anti-natalism.
it's basically you shouldn't have kids. You shouldn't continue to produce humans.
There's
What
like
category would
harm
that fall
entailed
into? Like
within.
a theoretical term, or
Well, so the idea is that there is inherent suffering associated with life, and that would just be unethical.
Well, no, that's only
It's like
one.
propagate
That's
that.
only
No,
one
that's one.
position.
That's one of
under-
the entailments.
That's one of them. Yeah, that's that's not even one of the entailments. That's one of the presuppositions that would lead to antinatalism.
Oh, yeah,
but
my bad.
there are multiple different antinatal.
Well, one is going to just
That's
like
one of them. One of them is just humans are inherently evil, therefore we ought unalive all humans. So they would be
wait, that's not even
pro-abortion,
antinatalitalism.
and
That's like critical.
pro-euthanasia.
There's
That
like
would
critical
be.
death theory that's like different, like unaliving humans versus
it's fine.
just,
Yeah, look, hey, Ski, I'll give you a follow. I can explain it to you more in depth on another panel.
like
or,
suffering
like,
that
maybe, like,
life
some other time.
entails suffering.
Here, look,
Wait, Tone,
you-
isn't that
you and
misanthropy?
observer-
Isn't that misanthropy? Like humans
No,
are.
misanthropy just means
yeah,
you
like
hate
I
both
mean,
men
no,
and
it would
women.
be dysenthropy, but that's one of that would fall under antinatalism as well. Like antinatalism is a broad category of like humans should cease to reproduce, basically.
Oh, we should
Or
debate
cease
eugenics.
reproduction.
I'll take the affirmative. Eugenics is
Protect. I'll drop you a follow, man. I am.
eugenics is inherently
cooked,
based.
Meatball.
I will.
You're gonna
I
get
will take
cooked.
the
Protect. I
affirmative.
am. I do use.
You're gonna get cooked.
multiple
No.
accounts and stuff though.
All right, it's fine. I'm
Whenever
gonna
it's-
end soon. It's like almost
Observant.
Yeah, you said
Observant.
15 minutes.
Investigate my
Yeah,
view.
13
We're
minutes
so
for
fucking
y'all
confident.
to go back and forth.
I
Yeah,
wanna hear how you're gonna defeat my my view.
Everyone else lets you keep talking. You defeat yourself.
Well, let's give an example. How about you provide an example?
Go ahead. Keep going.
No, provide. You just made a claim. Now back it up. You said that I defeat myself. So give me an example of.
Go ahead.
claim
I'm
that-
letting you do that right now.
No, you said I've already done that. That was the claim. Provide evidence.
Still doing it.
What?
Really badass.
Yeah.
So this is just you running. You're not willing to like defend your own position or critique
We
mine.
provide the argument. Here, I'll be a moderator. I'm an unbiased moderator.
He's not gonna engage.
Observant. You did make the claim that she had already provided this argument because you substantiate whatever argument she was making. Tia, hold on really quickly before you do that, actually, because you're not even coming off mute anyway. Tia, you can come back up and have a conversation if you want. No one kicked you. I'm not even a moderator on the panel. But yeah, Tia, I'm sorry. It's just that I knew that if you open your mouth up, Meatball would absolutely dog walk you on it, and you wouldn't be able to handle it. I'm trying to be honest. I'm just being honest. I'm simply being honest. I will help you, Tia, with your arguments, but from what I heard before I came up, it wasn't the best, and that's why I came up, was to one, fuck Meatball up on why she ran from modding my debate in the first place, and also to help that other really dumb pro-choicer that was up there earlier.
Yes.
I was gonna actually take the position to help her,
What was
but
his
then her
name?
stupid ass dug herself.
was it?
It was a woman. It was like a, I don't even care.
Hey,
Kayleen or
It's
Caroline or
Callie Baby, and she didn't. I dropped her to
Callie
be called,
Baby,
like,
that's what it was.
Oh, the dumb bitch. Okay.
Yeah, Callie. Yeah, she wasn't important enough for me to remember. But yeah, I guess since Observant doesn't want to debate it, Tia, if you want to go ahead, fuck it.
Do we still have time? I know his live is finna end.
Yeah, we got like 10 minutes. Yeah.
Well, why
I'll
don't
restart the
we?
timer. I just restarted.
Why don't you refine your position first, and then you can come back and ask either one of us, and then we can help you with it.
Okay, so was I'm sorry, I have to speak. Was Meatballs what was you? Do you want me to debate Meatballs or yours? I forgot.
No. I'm saying that no offense, I don't think you currently have a strong enough position to deal with her pro-choice position. So
How so?
if you want to ask Well, because okay. Why don't you debate? Huh? In
Can
your
I
team.
debate her? I want to debate her.
That's what I was saying. No,
Yeah, I
Ski,
was trying
don't
to
say,
help. I
don't
tried to
save
save
her.
her.
Look,
I tried to
Wow,
save
you
her.
it's
immediately
fine.
contradict
I
the
tried
first
to as
thing.
well. And
What about not accepting any more requests? And I got up here by requesting.
whose man's is this?
It's
Yo,
on
you
What
literally
a
look like a
contradiction right
motherfucker
off
that
the
would say
bat.
meep meep.
No, bro,
You
it's
literally
whose
look
woman's
like
is
a
this?
meep meep ass dude, bro. Who man's is this?
Whose woman's is
Oh,
this?
Just
what do you
not
got
wrong.
against
Tia go.
Paperclip,
Tia
bruh?
was the one that was supposed
He's
to
not
do
wrong.
that.
Paperclip never
Wrong.
recorded
Who are
conversations.
you?
He's trying to
Okay.
help, bruh.
All right,
He's not
Tia,
wrong.
you want
He's
to
not wrong.
do you want to investigate my view, or would you like me to
Oh, my bad,
investigate
No,
bro.
that's
yours?
not
Sorry.
wrong.
Actually, can you repeat? I know you guys been talking for a minute, but can you repeat yours again, Meatball?
Sure. I think your body is your property. I don't think the fetus has a legitimate claim. I think you have jurisdictional capacity over your property. Therefore,
Okay,
it's
so
going to
one
be
has two
permissible.
humans
It's
procreate, never
blah, blah,
produce a
blah, blah, blah,
non-human.
blah, blah, blah. Therefore, it's going to be permissible for you to evict this child from your body for any or no reason, all 9 months, with abortions restricted to the time prior
Are
to
people
viability,
property?
where we would go ahead and invoke like a gentlest means principle. No, you forfeited your right to critique anything about me or talk to me at all. You
I'm sorry.
ran
Whose
when I tried to
fucking
debate
smoke
you.
detector
Okay,
just went
so I
off,
can make
bro?
a counter argument against you, and you have
SSG,
to
No, I'm
mute.
talking to
Hold on,
you
hold on.
right now.
Hold
She's
on.
talking to someone
Let
else. Shut your
Tia.
meep looking ass up, bruh.
The most important thing to remember is that fire safety is not a joke, and we need to make sure we're getting our smoke detector
Yeah,
batteries changed
whose
on schedule.
fucking smoke alarm was that? Because I'm about to put up a meme and I don't know if it's gonna be
It's a
fucking
smoke
or not.
detector
In my house right
neglector.
now.
All right.
Gee,
Got on
man.
So
fire.
Tia, really simply, your body's your property. The fetus doesn't have a right to be there. You can remove it.
Okay, so what can you not do with your body? Like, can you do anything you want with your body?
No, you would be restricted to things that don't infringe upon somebody else's negative rights.
So why would you say that then if you can't just do whatever you want with your body?
Why would I say what?
That your
So
body is your property.
Yeah, your body
right,
is property.
but shouldn't you protect it?
Yes.
Someone else is in it.
Yeah, you have the right.
Wait. Let's Tia take this.
Yeah. Observant, shut the fuck up. I
You
gave you a
shut the
chance.
fuck up.
Oh, I
Listen,
gave
I'm
you a chance,
listening.
and you ran. So you stay quiet.
Nobody ran. I just don't want to argue with
You
you because
did.
you're
You
dumb.
ran.
Oh my
Shut up.
goodness,
Observant,
man.
yo, observant, bro. Yeah, thank God for whoever kicked him. Bro, we literally, I literally sat here and said I would moderate the 1v1 between you and her, and you didn't answer. So just let
I
them
give
have
you
their
15
conversation.
minutes. But yeah, look, Tia, let's continue.
Okay, you can finish
Crisis
with your.
King. Crisis King.
So you don't
You're
have
still so nasty.
you don't have an absolute right. Like, no rights are absolute, right? Meaning that like, if it would be impermissible for you to do things that violate other people's negative rights.
So what makes you think a baby doesn't have a right?
Well, the baby does have rights, same rights as the mother. The only rights that exist are life, liberty, and property.
So are you saying the baby should or shouldn't be protected?
Well, it would be virtuous to protect the baby, but she shouldn't be legally compelled to sustain the pregnancy. It's her property.
But you didn't answer my question. Should that baby be protected?
I told you it should be. She shouldn't be legally compelled to sustain the pregnancy. Do you understand the difference between like what you should do and what you must do?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah, so it would be virtuous to protect the child. It would be virtuous for her to sustain the pregnancy. What I'm arguing is that she doesn't have to do that.
But if you want to protect the child, why don't you just get a C-section instead of getting an abortion?
And because prior to viability, a C-section would result in the same outcome. And if early enough, it would just not even be really possible to do that. If you're 8 weeks gestation, there isn't anything to salvage. It would not be. We don't do C-sections when people are very early in pregnancy.
What about through 9 months? Should they still get a C-section?
Yeah, after viability, you can terminate the pregnancy non-lethally. So after 20 weeks, you can get a C-section or an induction.
So when does abortion come in place?
Prior to viability, prior to 20 weeks.
No, I mean, like, what would be the reason that women will get an abortion?
You want them out of your body.
Why don't you just get an adoption?
Well, because that would be a remedy to guardianship, not a remedy to pregnancy.
What do you mean by that?
It would mean it would be a way to like absolve yourself of any sort of guardianship obligation once the child is born. It doesn't speak to an obligation you would have to sustain a pregnancy. So if the violation is the child on your property, somebody adopting it after enduring the violation for like 9 months doesn't resolve that.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Because I feel like adoption should be a choice too.
Well, it should be, and that's something that people can consider. But if what I'm saying is that the problem, the violation, is the fact that the child is inside of her body and she doesn't want it there, putting the child up for an adoption once it's born 9 months later would require that she endure the property violation, and I'm saying that there isn't justification for that.
Why can't she just unalive herself instead of going to an abortionist?
Probably because it would be unsafe.
So what makes abortion safer?
Because it's typically overseen by a provider.
Really?
Yeah.
But does an abortion have the same qualifications as a doctor?
What do you mean, does an abortion have the same qualifications?
Does an abortionist have the same qualifications as a doctor?
A lot of people who perform abortions are doctors.
But
or they're
you know-
medical practitioners. Usually they're like nurse practitioners who can prescribe abortifacient medication.
But you know,
to help her out, I think what she means is like a woman who takes a pill. Like, would they be? I think that's what she means.
You mean the abortion pills?
No.
Oh.
I don't know what you're asking to you.
So what can an abortionist do that a regular doctor cannot do? Like, you know, abortionists can lie to you as well. You know that, right?
Well, I don't know when you say abortionist, if you just mean like a practitioner who,
The person
like,
who's performing the abortion.
well, most abortions aren't performed by anybody in a procedural sense. They're given, like, women are given medication.
But I thought their limbs were ripped off. Babies' limbs.
That's
were
later. Yeah, that's later. I'll tell you something. 93% of abortions happen in the first trimester, 6% in the second, and only 1% in the third. It's going to be well into the second and all of the third trimester. The like ripping children's bodies limb from limb, like that's later. The overwhelming majority of abortions that happen very early, and they happen via the abortion pills.
So what age do you think a baby should be protected?
Well, I think it's a rights-bearing individual all the way through. So when you say, should a child be protected?
No, I said a baby.
Well, yeah, a child, a baby, the baby. Sure. Like the baby should be observed as a rights bearer from the moment of conception. But what I'm saying is that the mother is justified in removing it. But that wouldn't make it permissible for, say, like somebody to punch a pregnant woman in the stomach. If the child were to unalive, that would be a homicide. That would be a murder.
So your stance is that the woman, that's her body, is her property. So like I said, what should she do with her body? Like, I don't get it.
She gets to do anything that doesn't infringe upon the negative rights of somebody else. I want you to think of it like this, Tia. I think of the body as being like your house, and I think of the fetus as being like a trespasser. And what I'm arguing is that if somebody were to just like walk into your house, it would be permissible for you to remove them, even if the act of removing them caused them to unalive. Now, if you wanted to say, well, you invited them in, you let them in, so you now have an obligation to let them stay. I don't actually think that that's true, for a lot of reasons that are probably a little too complicated to get into here. But I think it would be true that even if like you invited me to come over to your house, and then you decided you wanted me to leave, you have the right to remove me if I don't want to leave.
Damn, dude, you still running evictionism.
In the big 2025, yes.
Okay, so we only have a minute left. I don't want you to get cut off, Meatball. I actually enjoyed.
It's not going to cut me off. No, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like I said, Tia, her stance is like pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I got a reductive.
No, I actually like talking to her. Like, I don't agree or disagree.
Well, we can definitely continue this tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like almost 5 a.m. Like,
Okay.
you still got 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Meatball, I got a question for you. So if someone entered your house and you invited them, and that you weren't able to remove them for like a few weeks, you know, because like maybe like the door was just like something wrong with it, you think it would be permissible to like unalive them?
Well, I'd probably go to like the next best thing, which would be like out the window. But if for some reason I couldn't do that, if you're saying that the only way that I could remove them would involve unaliving them, maybe not. You said I invited them over. Now, did my action of inviting them over deprive them of their independence?
Wait, I don't understand that.
In other words, did I know that once I let them in that the door would stop working, that they wouldn't be able to leave?
No, but that's
Yes.
like stipulated.
That's kind of the logical entailment of becoming pregnant in the first place.
Oh, great. So if I
You know
knew,
that if you become pregnant, yeah.
Well, so
You know
here's
that
the
you're
problem.
taking the risk of becoming pregnant. Yeah.
Well, no, because see,
So
here's
like,
the thing. What
you're not
I'm
consenting to pregnancy, but you're consenting
I
to
think
the
it's hilarious
possibility
how
of
Tony.
no,
pregnancy.
the problem here is that causal only works if you can establish that the causal act of SMEX deprives somebody of their independence. So what I'm asking, I said this is relevant because if I knew that once I invited them over that they would be unable to leave, the reason why I'd be obligated to let
Do you
them
know what a
stay,
causal change is? I
a
mean, I'm sorry,
causal
a
chain.
causal chain.
Yeah, but
Yes.
hold on a second. What I'm saying though is that if I knew that once I let them in that they would be unable to leave, if I had that foreseeability, I would be the act of inviting them over would be depriving them of their independence since they existed in a prior state before I invited them over.
Right, so then you
Wait,
can agree
so
that at least 95% of abortions are unjustified, correct?
Wrong, because there's no prior state. The causal act is SMEX. The act of SMEX
The
doesn't
causal
deprive anybody of
invites
anything.
them.
No, but
No,
there's
but
no
it
them to
invites them,
begin
which
with.
starts off the cause. Yeah, it starts off the causal chain.
No, that's not the issue. I would reject the idea that dependency alone is sufficient in grounding the obligation. You would need to establish that the causal act causes deprivation because deprivation is the harm that warrants remedy.
so what do you mean by
Oh no,
deprivation?
Deprivation is when
of
you
life. Yeah.
well, no, that would come after. We're trying to justify the
Yeah.
obligation to provide labor and resources and sustain a pregnancy. So this is a compensatory
Yeah,
mechanism.
the obligation would come because of the
Okay,
that's why I was
let
asking
me
about
give
the
you let me
causal
give you
chain.
an example. Okay, I'm texting and driving. I slam into your car and I damage your bumper. Do I have an obligation to compensate you?
Yes, you do.
Oh, why?
Yeah, because of the fact that it
Due to
was the
state
action that you
dependency.
took, which ended up in the result,
Okay.
which is smashing my bumper.
So here's the thing. Before I hit you, your property was undamaged, at least by me. You were whole and intact and independent. You're driving along, minding your own business. I
Sure,
slam
yeah.
into you.
So your analogy would be disanalogous because of the fact that the fetus is not already
Exactly. That's what I'm
prior
saying. That's
existing.
that's
Well, yeah,
exactly
but
right.
then that's your analogy that's disanalogous.
No,
I
no,
was
no,
trying
no,
to
no.
answer.
I'm no,
So
no,
there are
no, no,
different
no.
types of analogies, right? So if you
No.
pose
Oh
an
my god.
analogy
No.
as if
Let
it's a
me. I'm
one-on-one,
gonna clear.
no,
No, I'm
no,
gonna
no,
clear
no,
this
no,
up.
no, no.
Oh,
Let
I
me
want to
finish.
know
I'll let you go. I'll
now.
let you go. I promise I'll let you
No,
go.
no, hold
What
on,
I'm
no,
trying to
Meatball. I'm gonna
explain
show
to
you.
you.
I'm answering your
Stop doxing
hypothetical or
me.
your analogy. I'm not.
Wait, Tone, let me
What?
cook
I
her.
said
Let me
That's
cook her.
Meatball.
me. That's me. Stop putting pictures
That's
of me on
not,
the internet. Okay.
bro. Oh my God,
What I'm
stop.
trying to explain to you is that the compensatory mechanism, this applies everywhere but pregnancy. Because in pregnancy there is no prior
So
state.
you're special pleading. You're special
No,
pleading.
no,
Then
it would be the
how is this
opposite.
not special
Yes,
pleading?
because it's special pleading to say that in the case, in all other cases except pregnancy, the reason why I have a duty to compensate you is because I've deprived you of a prior state. In pregnancy, there is no prior state, and yet I still seem to have an obligation to compensate you.
The
You would
prior
be
state
special
is the
pleading to
sperm and the egg.
pregnancy since there would be no prior date.
Well, no, there wouldn't be a prior state in regards to the fetus, but this wouldn't be special
Exactly.
pleading. It's because, hold on, but it wouldn't be special pleading
Wait,
in
can
this
I just argue
instance
that the
because of the
sperm and
fact
the
that
egg?
every other analogy that you're going to give is in regards to a being which is already present, a
In
human
every
life which is already present.
it's not even just human life. Whenever we're talking about compensatory mechanisms, which is what the person arguing causal is trying to say justifies the obligation, there is going to
I'm
be
not even
deprivation.
arguing calls.
No, but ski or sky is. So what I'm saying is that the reason why when I hit you and I damage your bumper, I have a duty to compensate you is because before I hit you, you were
I don't
whole and
even think
intact.
I don't
Hold
I
on.
don't even think he was absolutely. I don't
No,
think
I
he was
can get what she's
absolutely
saying. I
arguing
do
for
argue
causal. I
causal.
think
So you were
I do
in
argue causal. Okay,
you were
never
in a
mind. Then I
state.
can't
Causal
help you here.
flow.
I'll shut up.
Okay. So you were in one state, and then I did an action, and I
Wait, what
placed
the
you
fuck?
into a worse
You
state.
argue causal flow?
Yeah.
So okay, so let's
So you
just
give exceptions?
Yeah.
let's just
All right,
stick.
never mind. Ski, I'm gonna cook you later on, but you go with it.
No.
Okay.
Meatball.
No.
Go. You and
So
Meatball
this
go.
is
Boy,
why
I'll
this
cook the shit
doesn't
out of you.
work. So the reason why I have a duty to compensate you when I damage your property is because the act of slamming into you deprived you of something that you already had. You were whole, intact, independent, and I caused you to lose that, entering into a state of dependency, right? When it comes to pregnancy, the causal act, which is SMEX, just like the causal act of ramming my car into yours, when it comes to pregnancy, there is no prior state. There's no deprivation. So it doesn't make sense to say that there is now an obligation to compensate the fetus. You haven't deprived them of anything.
Okay, so what if like somehow this fetus like wait, so is it just because there's like conception hasn't occurred?
Yeah, there's no prior state. The
What
entity
if
doesn't exist.
conception was occurred before sex was like a thing, like before it like
Oh,
happened?
the way you would run that is like, let's pretend like the fetus is running around independently, and then the act of SMEX force them to now be dependent on you. Then you would be obligated. Yeah, sure.
Interesting.
Oh, are you talking
No.
like in a scenario where like there's like a born person and somehow you put them inside a woman's womb?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
actually, yeah.
Or if you believe in like a soul, if there's like a soul of that person like floating around in heaven, and they're just like having a ball up there, and then like the act of SMEX like forces that little soul out of heaven. It like plucks them out and now like forces them inside of the body of the mother. Like if you could prove that that was the case. And,
I've
like,
heard about that, like reincarnation.
Wait,
like,
so just to clarify here, so it's because there's no past like presence.
there not only is there no past, but because there's no past, there's no deprivation. Deprivation is the harm that warrants remedy. Anytime we say I have a duty to compensate you, it's because I've taken something away. And to that end, I only have a duty to like compensate you with whatever it is that I took away from you. Like if I damage your bumper, I have to compensate you for the bumper. I don't also now owe you like new windows and a new this or new that. I only owe you what it is that I've taken away.
Okay, so trying to understand. So so you said I only owe you this if I take it away.
Or we enter into a contractual agreement. So obligations can be predicated upon the compensatory mechanisms we just talked about, or contractual agreements.
So if you were to like what is your thoughts on like IUDs?
IUDs?
Yeah,
In what way?
like just a hormonal IUD, or like just like someone having this.
Yeah, but what do you mean? What do I think about it? Like what?
Yeah, like would this be like morally permissible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wait, I think what he means is like the abortifacient aspect of the IUDs. You would be befriending it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Like,
you
let's
can,
see.
you can,
Okay.
you absolutely. I'm not a pro-lifer.
Okay. I'm trying to understand here.
That would be like addressing your point of like it's being deprived of a previous state because like the zygote is conceived. Oh, that's Trent Horn.
Well,
But
no,
if
because the question is about whether or not you have an obligation to sustain the thing. So everything else would remain true. That like if you were to say you have an obligation to sustain this thing because of the causal act of SMEX, there is still no entity that exists in any prior state before the causal act of SMEX. So it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. It doesn't matter.
I would say the causal like obligation. It doesn't need, the being doesn't need to exist prior for this to be the case.
Why
It
do you
just-
think? Well, do you think it's intuitive to say that we owe people things when we give them things, or we owe people things when we take something away?
I would say both.
I don't think it's intuitive to say we owe people like if I give you a gift, does that mean I have to like keep giving you gifts?
No.
Okay.
I
If I
think
give you money,
But here's where it breaks down though. Is I think you owe something to someone if you are the a point in the causal chain
Yes.
that made them come about.
oh,
That
where
makes
in the
sense.
chain? How far back?
Yeah, like practically immediately prior.
Well, so the thing you'd be responsible for doing is creating something, and then like the dependency would
Yes,
just
so
be a
like
property
you
of the thing.
caused.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dependency would be a property of the fetus, right? The fetus
Yeah.
is dependent upon the individual that created them.
So I
right?
caused this
In a
being to
sense.
come into existence. So I gave it something that
Yeah.
it otherwise wouldn't have had. I gave it life. We owe people things when we give them
Yeah,
things.
you had a hand in giving it life, yes. But if I'm arguing it completely secularly, then yes,
But why do I owe somebody something when
you
I
have
give them something?
you would have a causal obligation, but not just because you caused it, also because of the fact that on top of you causing it, you are also obligated as a parent.
Well, hold on a second. I think it's fair to say that I am responsible insofar as like I'm the last moral agent who like played a role in this being
Committed
coming
an
into existence.
action.
But I wouldn't say that
Yeah.
that now makes me obligated because there's no deprivation.
What do you mean there's no deprivation?
I only owe you something if I take something away from you or we enter into a contract. Obviously, that didn't happen. So
No. Could you hold on? Could you owe someone something without hold on. Go ahead and restate what you just said.
unless there's a contract or a compensatory mechanism which necessitates deprivation, there's no such thing as an obligation outside
Why
of
would
like
that be
moral
necessary?
Contract
obligation.
agreement
Why
with
would,
the
yeah,
school.
yeah, no. This breaks down to legality. So yeah, there doesn't have to be a contract in order for you to be obligated normatively
It would
in
either
regards to
if you,
ethics or
okay,
morals.
so maybe this is the disconnect. If you're asking, would it be virtuous insofar as I'm responsible
Not
for this being
virtuous. Would you be obligated morally?
Yeah, when you're considering the interests of the fetus as the subject, sure, absolutely. If you're asking, like, would it be moral to unalive this child, given that you were responsible for causing them to exist? The answer is going to be no. Obviously not. It would not be moral to do this. But when you consider the interests of the mother and all of the implications associated with forcing her to forfeit her property rights, that's going to be like super immoral, way worse.
Meeple, but you understand that we were arguing normatives the entire time.
No. We're talking about what you should be
No,
legally compelled
you
to
were
do.
talking about pragmatics. You were
This
talking about
wait,
pragmatics.
this goes back to like somebody putting a child in the house, and am I legally obligated? Should I
No,
be
this
legally
goes all the way back to ought a woman be able to unalive the child in her
even
womb because
principle?
of your evictionist
Well, the
stance?
reason why the
Your
evictionist stands
evictionist stance is built off
normatively.
of pragmatism, right?
No,
Not
because
normative.
normatively it is worse. In my view, it is more immoral to deprive somebody of their property rights without justification. It is
wait.
more immoral.
Okay, so you're saying more or less immoral. What is the ultimate moral standard by which you're judging what is more or less
Empathy.
moral?
I'm talking about meaningful consideration of the interests of the subject.
Empathy index to whose empathy?
Meaningful consideration of the interests of a subject, which are non-dispositional.
Sure, and can this be subjective to each individual
Well, it
as
would
to
be
what they find empathetic
subjective to
or what
no,
they?
it wouldn't be dispositional, but it would be subjective insofar as like it would be context dependent, like which interests were being frustrated or have the potential to be frustrated. It would be like
Sure. So then it's subjective, right?
well, it would be subjective to an individual. Like for example, a moral
Right, exactly.
proposition.
My
Well,
point.
no, it's
My
not
point.
subjective.
No, Meatball,
No, it's not
Meatball,
subjective
come
as in like
This is what I
dispositional.
said earlier.
No, listen. This is what I mean. If we take a moral proposition, grape is good. Okay, we need to investigate that. We need to assess whether or not the interests of the subject are being frustrated. Obviously, it's going to be contingent upon, what is happening, who the subject is, but the interests themselves that are being frustrated are not subjective. They're not dispositional.
Are you trying to use evictionism and Sharia at the same time?
No, I'm not even using Tria.
I'm not even Sharia, but
how
that's
did
interest. What do you mean by
Kay-
interests here then? 'Cause
Interests are just
I
going
just
to
wanna make
be
sure.
interests are those things that are ordered toward well-being and flourishing. Property
This is all
medicines.
But this is going to be subjective to the individual
No,
as well. Yes, it is.
Well,
Yes,
it's
it
when you say
is.
it's subjective, I think you mean like relative. What I mean there, I just mean it's like relative.
Sure,
to the
relative. So
individual.
it's relative to the individual.
It's
so it's
but
gonna
the
it can
interests
vary from
themselves
individual
aren't.
to individual.
The interests don't. No, the
Sure,
interests do
sure.
not.
But
Hey,
the
yo,
way in
Tim,
which you measure the
what do you think about like Dean Parker?
Dean
they're both
doesn't.
fucking
Dean doesn't
stupid as
like
shit.
me, and Parker Heil Schmittler. So
They actually
Yeah,
were.
I'm gonna have
Parker
to.
ran from me one time, and Dean is a complete fucking spurg.
I used to have a
Regardless,
Discord, and that picture was on Discord, and I can't find it now. Of Parker doing
what
the
picture?
salute. The picture of Parker
I'm.
doing the salute.
Yeah.
Oh, did Parker do the
Oh.
salute? It's not that
Well,
bad.
I'm gonna have to end it tonight. It's 5:07 a.m.
No,
I'd
I
like to
have
continue
more
this another time.
memes. I have more memes.
Wait, so Meatball, how'd you do against Kay?
Huh?
How'd you do against Kay? Like, did he just dump you?
Oh, well, yeah, Kay is my friend, but like obviously when it comes to his like philosophical background, that's not fair. That's like a toddler versus a fucking like I don't know. There's no way. Like Kay is gonna beat
Yeah,
everybody.
bro. Hey, by the way, clip this. Meatball just called Kay a toddler.
No, I said I was
just
the
want to make it
toddler.
abundantly clear.
No, I said
No,
shut up.
no. Clip it. Clip it and
I
cut
said
that
I
part
was
out.
like the
Clip it and
toddler.
cut that part out. Clip it and cut that part out.
Wait, what makes him so
No,
much like?
I'm kidding.
Like, is he like
He's
way more like?
just more well.
No,
So a few things. So he's super well read, and he
linguistically.
has a photographic memory. I believe he won't confirm that. I think he does. He is just incredibly well read and understands the ins and outs of every single fucking framework and everything, entailment of every
Key
philosophical.
is in Kojo, right? They're not the same person.
Yeah, they are. There's a
That
lot.
is the
He is
same
Kojo.
guy. I told you
Oh,
this
okay.
fortress.
Yeah, dude, I
Fuck.
can't remember, man. There's so many people.
How many
Listen,
times do I have to tell you the same
listen,
fucking
I'll
thing?
tell you
By the
this.
way, this is not the red ranger
I
that you have
bother
on your
Kay.
fucking picture.
I text Kay with like questions, and I'm like, "Does this make sense? Is this right? Is this like an appropriate argument?" Or like, I bother him because things that are complex to me are like elementary to him. So
Dang,
You
Kylo
understand
was
that,
here.
Kay.
Dang, I wish.
Does he have any exceptions, or does he just have listeners?
Yeah, no, he's not an
Oh,
avid
hold
listener.
on. Kylo owes me $1,000. So
Yeah, he
if
was
you
here
wanna bring
yesterday,
Kylo up,
but yeah, he holds a medical exception. But I'm gonna
Kylo, hey
end.
Kylo, when's my $1,000 gonna be cash app to me, dude?
Yeah, I'm gonna end. It's 5 a.m. I've been live for like 6 hours, but thanks everyone for joining. We can do this again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Also,
Thanks.
Kylo, before we go, you still owe me my 1,000. I'm
Yeah,
looking for that
are
1K,
live.
bro. I can't host on this account.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm on my last strike. But all right, have a good night.
All right, good night.